Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the platform or watching this channel for the very first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I also need to let you know that the subscriber mode has been enabled. What does that mean is that if you're not a subscriber, if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you need to subscribe to the channel. Okay? So, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether it be from the very beginning or just recently. Thank you very much for all your love and support. And I see here we also have someone um, gracing, gracing us with her presence. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I want to let everybody know that Golden Goddess have multiple platforms, and among them, she also has a podcast that she does with motivation movement called Tea with Multi, Tea with Multi, and she also have membership where you will, for and you'll change you see special content and other benefits. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, please subscribe to her platforms. Okay. As always, I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, and I want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever we go live, uh, you have the opportunity to either catch it live or catch it on the playback. Okay, no problem, Gigi. It's all understandable. Now, before we get into the main topic, there's a couple of things that we're going to discuss it in my words. Okay. It's been a very busy day as far as news is concerned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some sad news, which is the death of Tina Turner. Um, it was announced today that after a long illness, that Tina Turner has passed away. She was 83 years old, and she lived a long life, and a long life with many struggles, but with many achievements. She was a part of the group with her then husband, Ike Turner. Unfortunately, the marriage ended in divorce due to physical abuse perpetrated by her husband, and she was able to launch a solo singing career in her mid 40s. And she had a unique singing style, and actually she is, I think, for some ways an example for women who were able to achieve despite the fact they have gone under trials and tribulations. And I just want to say that the Anthony report is here. Good evening, Anthony. And the fact of the matter is, he too has a YouTube channel. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, please subscribe. Yes, I agree. May she rest in peace. Okay, to his channel. And we also have the presence of Keisha and Mark and Keisha. And Keisha also has a YouTube channel called Wine and FaceTime, where she produces a great deal of content, both live and recorded. And she's been very successful. In fact, I think she's getting close to 300 subs if she has not reached it already. So I'm going to ask that if you have not done so, please show my union system and subscribe to the channel. Yes. So the fact of the matter is, despite all the abuse that she went through physically and what have you, she the fact is, God has allowed her to live a long life. So excuse me, just give me a moment. My computer is acting up. So definitely rest in peace for her. Okay. Now the other news that we need to talk about is that Ron DeSantis has made it official. He is now entered the ring with the idea of running to become president of the United States. He is currently the governor of Florida, and he is known for many conservative causes and what have you. Oh, wow! Great news! Keisha actually made 300 subs yesterday. Now, that's what I call being successful. I'm jealous of you. I'm just kidding. But you know what? The fact of the matter is, shout out to you for reaching 300 subs. Okay. Yes, she didn't, Tina didn't the fact of the matter is, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Of course, we are expecting a large number of Republican candidates to make their cause as far as why they should be considered president of the United States. Now, I'm going to say something, and actually, I spoke about it. Okay, well, all right. Wrap your state, DG. Now, one thing that I did discuss yesterday, and I'm not backing down on anyone that's 60 years old or over should not run for president. Oh yes, we will remember the movie called What Love Got to Do with It, which, unless I'm mistaken, highlights her life and all the struggle she went through. I'm not hating. You know what? I'm not hating. And look, and all I gotta say is rep your state. Rep your state. I'm from, so hey, I gotta I gotta go with the blows and what have you. So, but you know what? It's gonna be interesting. This whole process. But I'll get back to what I was saying. With all due respect to my fellow baby boomers, no one who's 60 years old or over should run for president. No one. Okay. Why am I saying that? First of all, people who are around my age are thinking about retiring. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, we're entering into mm, the third stage of our life, and really, when you take a look at someone like a Joe Biden who's 80 years old, and sometimes he looks like he's suffering from advanced dementia. And then you have Donald Trump who's 75, and you have other people, other politicians that in their 80s, almost their 90s. Um, you know what? We had our moment in the sun. It's time for us to prepare the new generation to take over the wheel and do what they can. And of course, every generation makes the mistakes. But you know what? We got to give the younger generation uh, an opportunity to do their stuff. Okay. All right. Fair enough. You know what? And to be perfectly honest, I never thought I was going to say this, but now that I'm 60 years old, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to retire in a few years, and I am not going to be working past the time when it's time for me to get, to hang it up. It's time to let the younger people do their job or make the mistakes, which they will, but they will learn. But just like in every generation, okay. So that makes, yeah. You know what? No lie, he does look old. I'm sorry to say that he looks as old. I mean, he almost look as old as Methuselah, and the fact of the matter is, Methuselah lived to be 969 years old. So that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. Okay, I apologize for that. Just a minor technical difficulties, and before I get into the main topic, I just want to mention that Donna Mondo is in the chat. Good evening, Donna Mondo. And I just want to let everybody know that Donna Mondo um, has his own YouTube channel, and so I'm going to ask if you have not done so, please subscribe to this channel. You know what? I'm gonna need to upgrade my equipment when it comes to why I'm having such difficulty. Now, let's get to the topic. The topic is the bus driver remark pushback. Now, some of you are asking, why am I addressing this topic again? Okay. What? Okay. So basically, this is like the second part of this. The first part, I dealt with the actual remarks that Ebony K. Williams have stated. Okay. Now we're just going to be dealing with the pushback. Okay. And to believe it or not, there's been a great deal of pushback regarding it. And a good portion of it is men. Also, there's been some women that have been pushing back. Okay. Now, I had said from the beginning that Ebony K. Williams does have the right to state whatever is her point of view. She also have the right to her preferences. Okay. One thing that I didn't mention, which I will mention tonight, whenever you say something or do something, there's always going to be consequences. Yeah, some of those consequences could be good, some of them could be bad. Okay. Now, I think if Ebony Wins had so simply stick to the part where she said that she inspired the African American community to to strive to do better. There may not have been such a pushback. But the fact that she mentioned white supremacy, okay, for some people it's considered a stretch. Okay, so and there's been a lot of feedback. I mean, people calling her a gold digger, people calling her a modern woman. Now, in all fairness, I mean, based on what I am able to see from her, she does exhibit a great deal of, in my perception, masculine traits. I think part of it has to do with the fact that she's an attorney. So therefore, when you are an attorney and you have to represent your constituency, whatever, against another attorney, you have to have some sort of an appearance of toughness, an appearance that you know what you're doing, okay? Because if you show weakness, I mean, the other attorney can eat you alive. So I can understand it to an extent why um, she appears to be masculine. Um, Now, as far as trying to inspire African American community to do better, that would be fine, except for the fact that she was married, she was engaged to a white person, which unfortunately the engagement ended, not in marriage. Uh, we don't know why it did, and I'm not going to speculate it here. Um, but there's been a great deal of pushback. So what we're doing is we're going to address the pushback. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a video which I saw earlier today. I believe it's from the Breakfast Club. First of all, it's let me just make it clear: fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay. You know what, Gigi? Some people consider Ebony to be masculine. Masculine traits. I attribute that to a certain extent to her profession. Okay, not necessarily her person. Okay, so let's see if we can share. And I see that Hazel is in the chat. Good evening, Hazel. Okay, well, you know what? Everyone is entitled to their point of view. Okay, and okay, and okay, everyone's entitled to their point of view. So let me just bear with me because sugar. Come on, come on. Just give me a moment, folks, because my computer is acting up. And like I said before, okay, hello. Okay. This is going to be one of those nights, people. Okay. You know what I'm going to, okay. What I'm going to do is, hello? Hello? Um, Hello. I apologize. It's just that somehow I got removed from my platform. Um, Let me just address a couple of okay. First of all, and again, let me state this perfectly clear. A lot of the people that been pushing the pushback have been men. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know what? This is the thing. Kind of touched out a little bit about these issues when I did my stream last year regarding feminism. And let's keep it 1,000. Um, the original intent of feminism was to address the inequalities that exist among women. Because remember, women could not vote, women could not hold property, women could not discipline their children. Okay, women can vote, women can get into politics. Okay, and again, let me make this perfectly clear. Anyone, and I repeat, anyone has a right to have a preference. Okay, okay. I always said that, and I always maintain that. Okay, and yeah, I would see. I would see. I don't feel comfortable trying to redefine what a woman should be. Okay, I think that should be left up to women. Okay, I'm sorry. I do not know other than the with some basic stuff about women. So I am in no position to dictate what a woman should be or how women should be defined. Okay. Okay. So and a lot and in all fairness, a lot of the pushback is men. Okay. So basically, the whole point is to address the pushback. Okay. Yeah. And you know what? And all I said, all I said was the following: that she has a right for her to express her point of views. She has a right for her preference. Okay. The only caveat was that define people that on her own professional level in general. And I'm not talking about just black. I'm talking about in general. They're not that many. Okay. They're not that many. So that means that for those men that are her professional equal, there is a great deal of competition with the younger version of Ebony. That's all I have said. Okay. That's all I have said. Okay. And I have tried, I'm and I tried to try to give a balance. I mean, let's keep it real. A lot of Pookies and Ray Rays um, took a lot of issues. Okay, they're Pookies and Ray Rays for a reason, because unfortunately they don't aspire to do better for themselves. Never mind anybody else. Good evening, Irby, and you know. So I'm gonna okay. I'm gonna try one more time, see if I can share this video clip. If not, then you know what? I'm just gonna not gonna try again. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, but Now I know, like I said before, and people, let's bear this in mind, and I'm going to state it again. Anybody, I repeat, anybody has the right to state their preferences and state their point of view. Now, this is something I saw from the Breakfast Club. I'm not going to play the whole video, just the portion of it. And free use, free use, free use.
We talked about her yesterday, and now she's doubling down on the fact that she never date a bus driver. This is what she said yesterday.
I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position. Now, I suspect that some of y'all are the same men that were bringing home C's and D's on your report cards. Parents then be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay, as long as you're doing your best. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay. But could it be that Black America has been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? Well, see, that's called white supremacy. No, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
Hey, my son brings home C's and D's. It's just fine. That's why I called him and I say, good job, but you can do better.
You trying to get him a tutor? Tutor?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Now, we should strive to do the best that we can. Okay. But when we settle for C's and D's, what does that say about us? That's not go very well for any community. Now, let's continue.
I don't understand. What does white supremacy have to do with it? Why are we saying for her? She said for her, not for her. I don't know what she wants. A bus driver. What if he's the best man ever? He's passionate about his bus driving, and he loves you, and he cares for you, and he does all the things on the list that you love. Because we already know women, we all got lists. And then you have one thing because is it the bus driver or is it the salary or is it the money he makes? Because if Ebony is a millionaire or whatever, if she
Oh boy.
makes a lot of money, why does your man have to be equally yoked right there with you?
Yeah, I just don't understand why everyday
working class people are considered average, mediocre.
Now, I happen to be a working man myself, okay? I'm a white-collar working man, but I'm a working man nevertheless. I don't consider myself mediocre in any way, shape, or form. I take pride in what I do, and I aspire to be the best version of Hossein Negron. So now let's continue.
Right.
Are typical. I don't know why we refer to everyday working class people as having lower standards.
You know, there are people who think what we do is average and mediocre
compared to
what they do, and they're probably right. Like if I'm a media personality, entrepreneur in entertainment business, I can name so many jobs that are more important than mine.
Doctors, engineers, military, people in entertainment.
Newsflash: we are not essential workers.
Well, the world is not going to stop because we're not on the radio. The world is not going to stop because we're not on TV. But let the bus drivers stop driving today.
Honey,
real quick today. Something as simple as coffee. Let the Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks workers not show up for work today. Let the workers not pick up the trash.
And see what happens. The problem is it sounds like it's trying to make it seem like bus drivers and on the bus and telling people that, you know, they control the city, they run the city, make sure the city's running, that they're not bright and smart, which is totally wrong. I know a lot of smart and intelligent bus drivers, intelligent police officers, intelligent people that work at all those people you just named, and I know a lot of stupid attorneys. I know a lot of dumbass attorneys. And sometimes I think, how the hell you got your job? So it's a little bit of both. And just to say it, you know, my dad, who was in the military, when he got home from the military, he couldn't find a job. So he started off as a mechanic, and then the mechanic wasn't getting enough money. So he needed, yes, he needed, but then he needed, benefits. So he became a bus driver, and that wasn't enough. Absolutely.
That's all people.
Was right there in a real way, and she's
right there in a real way. She's entitled to her preference. She can date whoever she wants to date. She can have whatever standard
is.
Yeah. Also, whining about women initiating divorces yet leave out the reason why the divorce are being filed. They're trying to get rid of no-fault divorce but make it harder to file divorces. Okay, I have my preferences. I don't blame them for that. Okay. I don't have a problem with women getting divorces. And yeah, there is a reason why. Okay. Now, there are many acceptable, reasonable grounds for divorce. Infidelity, physical abuse, neglect, mental instability. Okay. So there are reasons, but we have to keep it real, folks. There are some women who do get a divorce for frivolous reasons. Okay, some, not all, but some. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Bus drivers can date and marry other bus drivers and other like people. Okay, I understand that, and I just want to let everybody know that the introvert Boricua is in the house, and he has his own channel. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, please subscribe to his channel. And Donna Mumble says you forgot sexual gratification. There are many. Look, okay. I don't want to deviate too much into the topic. Look, the bottom line is this, and this is something that I've said at the last stream, which is people in general, both male and female, okay, they have the right to state who are their preferences, okay. Now, this is what is the hypocrisy of all of it is that women can state their preferences, okay, and some of them could be unrealistic. Let's keep it real. If you are a 4 or a 5, and expect to be getting 10s, there's a lot of competition out there. Okay, the problem is if a man states that he has preferences, oh boy, he's toxic. He's toxic, and he's impossible, and he's too demanding and whatnot. Okay. All I'm saying is all I'm saying is that everyone has their preferences. Okay. But why is it's acceptable for women to state their preferences, even when those cases when they're not realistic? But when a man acts preferences, oh boy, they want to crucify him and on and on and on, and he's being unrealistic and things of that nature. Okay. Okay, let's just take a look at some of these other. No. Okay. You know what, Hazel? You are entitled to your opinion, and I think and you're entitled to your opinion. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, let's keep it real. If you take a look at social media today, there is a considerable amount of women that want the following. They want a man to be 6 feet tall. They want a man to have a six pack. They want a man to be making figure income. Okay, women can state all that, and if a man state a preference, oh boy, get ready for the backlash, people. Okay, and we need to keep this 100. But you know what? Everyone's entitled to their point of truth. Okay. Okay. There are men. I will grant you this much. There are men, just like women, who have unrealistic expectations what a woman should be. Okay. First of all, I'm sorry. If anyone is mentioned, if any man is expecting women to be pure 100% virgins when they've been sexually active, I don't think so. Hazel, I would suggest that you go into social media. You do not take my word for it. Do not take my word for it. You hear it all the time. Okay. Now, grant you, I'm not saying all women are like that, but I would say that a sizable number are like that. And just like a sizable number of men have unrealistic expectations. Okay. So let's keep it real. Okay. Now, I understand that some people may be upset with me. Okay. All I'm asking is to analyze this. Okay. That's all I'm asking. Okay. Okay. And I think Gigi is making an interesting point when it says that some men and women are delusional. Yeah, it's true. Okay. So let's see what's going on. There's a lot of chatter. Okay. Okay. No, when it comes to Kevin Samuels, let's just say he did not speak full filter, and I know that a lot of people feel that he attacked women. He was very hard on women, but the first couple of years that he was doing his YouTube channel, he was more harsher on the men. Okay. Don't take my word for it. All I'm asking you is, if you take a look at his videos from the beginning, you will see he was much harsher on the men than the women. Okay. Now grant you, I mean, I did not agree with everything that he talked about. I do not agree with the fact that high value men should be able to cheat and what have you. I do not agree with that. Okay. Can we, Hazel, my question, can we at least agree? Can we at least agree that there are men and women that have outrageous expectations when it comes to the opposite sex? Can we at least agree to that? Okay. And again, I'm not saying all of them are that way. Okay, I'm not saying that. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link. If anyone wants to join the panel. Okay. Or what you can do is just continue to talk about it from the chat. Okay. Now, I don't know if he didn't get rich. Well, I will say this much. He did have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So, it all depends how you define rich. Okay. Okay. All I'm saying is that both men and women have unrealistic expectations. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And again, I keep saying this, and I keep saying this. Not all women are like that. Some are, some aren't. Okay. Now I don't want to get into the passport bros. I mean, because I did discuss this at an earlier stream, and the issue I have with the passport bros is the following. You don't need to trash American women when you go overseas to hook up with these ladies. Okay. And I see we have someone here. So let me just state for the following. The views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views that people might hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. So let's just see. Okay. Good evening, Hazel.
Good evening. Long time no talk.
Yes, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I just want to make it very clear here that I'm not upset or feeling any type of way. I just think that this has gone way too far, and this conversation is beating a dead horse. That woman had a preference. She had a preference. She was asked a specific question, and that was her preference. So if anyone got upset, that is their own feeling of lacking. She didn't insult anyone. She said she would rather have someone who owned the bus. That is what she said. If you took that as something else, that is something that you internally have to deal with. She's talking about her community. She's talking about her community and what she sees goes on in her community. What I want to talk to you about is this thing where most women want a tall, dark, handsome man that's rich. And that has been a lie that keeps being spread. Because most women do not ask for that. They're asking for the basic things for men to have, which is your own place to live, financially, emotionally, physically, mentally stable human being. This is what I hear most women talk about. Now you have your occasional gold digger channel. But for the most part, what women are asking from men is to bring what she brings. You do have your delusional person, both male and female. I understand that. But here's another problem. Men have been going around the internet for a very long time without any pushback from women, disparaging women, wishing ill on women, wanting to take away their right to choose. A whole bunch of things have been said about women, and now that they have gone on the internet and fought back and say things that are also divisive about men, now all of a sudden women are too masculine. I've seen time and time again on different pro-women's channels, just women talking. Men go into the women's channels, calling them all kind of names, wishing death, SA on them, that they're going to die alone, that you're fat, you're overweight, nobody wants you. I want a Latina woman. I don't want no black woman. That it's going on in other races too. You know, in the Latin community, that kind of crap is being spilled over to our people.
Preach that shit, honey.
Okay? Even in the Latin community, the men are going around and saying the same damn thing, and half of them are overweight themselves. And it's tiring. I'm a married woman and I hear it constantly. I'm a married woman and I hear it constantly. I've been on YouTube. I've been active on YouTube listening since 2018, even though my account says 2012 or 2013. And the horrific things that men, not all men, but men have been saying on here. How they go into women's channels, women's content. The women are not bothering the men. They go into the women's stuff and harass them, wish ill on them. But yet, you guys want to whine about a woman wanting a tall, dark, handsome man making 6 figures. 6 figures, it don't get you far most places in America. 6 figures in Florida is barely making it as well in 2023 in this economy. Okay? So this idea that women are delusional.
Okay. I think everybody needs to mute because she's borging in and out. Everybody needs to mute.
This idea that women are delusional because they want a man making 6 figures. 6 figures, what's 6 figures? Who made that up? 6 figures, $100,000? A lot of these women are coming in with their own education and their own money. They're asking for the man to match them. That's what I see going on.
They don't want to step it up. They just want to shame the women. Let's be honest.
Also, it's very disrespectful to be calling women masculine because she speaks up and has a voice for herself. Like right now, me talking, someone will call me a masculine, which I don't care because I'm in tune with that shit. I love it. And I'm a married woman. I'm married to a man. So putting that on me, you're already telling me something that I already know. The problem is I'm married and most of these men are not. Okay? Calling women masculine because she speaks up, she has an opinion, and she doesn't agree with a man does not help you. You have to understand that women have the right to say what they want to say, their opinions, disagree with you, going back and forth and having a respectful dialogue. That is okay. The woman telling you she's going to bash your face in because she don't agree with you, yeah, that may be masculine. But when a woman is going back and forth with you and having a respectful conversation, I see men in the comments calling the woman masculine. And with that attitude, you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. That's the type of stuff that will turn a woman off. Now, you got statistics out here saying that women are opting out of relationships and marriages. There's a reason for that.
Okay. Okay, Hazel, if I can respond.
Yeah.
Actually said my last string, and I continue to say the same thing. Okay, she has every right to her preference. She has every right to her point of view, and I would defend her point of view. You know, to say whatever she wants to say. Okay. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of backlash. Okay. A lot of it from men. Let's keep it real. A lot of it from men stating that she was being disrespectful to, to blue collar workers, that she had these crazy expectations. Okay. And actually, I stated in my last stream that, first of all, kudos to her for her getting an education. Not only getting an education, but going to one of the best schools, some of the best schools in the country. Kudos to her for becoming a lawyer. Kudos to her for being a professional. Okay. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of backlash. So the whole purpose is to discuss the backlash. Okay. Now, as far as the issue with women, there are some women and men that have unrealistic expectations. We can choose to disregard it, but it's a reality nevertheless.
Okay, we can't disregard men's unrealistic. I'm sorry.
No,
the problem is that we cannot ignore.
Okay. I say, okay, if I may continue. I'm not saying, I'm not excusing, and I'm not trying to co-sign the unrealistic expectation men have made. And if anyone follow me, I'm just as easily critical with the men as I am with the women.
The issue is the expectations of men cannot be ignored because they're out here chasing the very young ladies that they shouldn't be chasing after because they're old and they think they have money they could chase after the women, the young girls fresh out of high school. It's not the same for men and women. It is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
We can't ignore a lot of the delusions that either gender has. But the problem is we live in a patriarchy, not in a matriarchy.
You better say
it. Women are chased after. And whenever they reject the men, this is not all men, but when they reject the men, it is dangerous for a woman to do that. So we have to be realistic. If you want to talk about the delusions of men, talk about the delusions of men. Can I keep talking about the delusions of the women only? Because it seems like the women are being picked on for their delusional. I don't see anything delusional about this woman's desire at her stature to not be with a bus driver. Most of those type of relationships do not last. They're not equally yoked. However, for many, many years, for decades, young girls were married off to men and they could pay the family, right? And a lot of those marriages, it was a power dynamic. It wasn't healthy.
That's what these creeps are mad at. They're just mad that they want access to young women. That's all that they're bitching and crying about on social media. They're crying about the society that they created, number one. I went on a platform with a couple of content creators that I really like, and they were so mad, which was really strange to me, and speaking with such vitriol against this woman. And I just found that very interesting that, you know, they complain all day about women being so entitled, but they are so very entitled to this rich, beautiful, educated woman, and they're mad just because she said that she's not interested. So what? There's a million other different women in the world. Like, she's not interested. Get over it.
I know, right? But this is what I gotta say.
Every day we gotta hear about how we're fat, we're overweight, we're washed up, we're leftover women. At the age of 30, you need to put that shit on what? I don't know. Kevin Samuels said something. You know, with this market, like women's vaginas and their whole livelihood is like going to a store and picking a woman. We have been minimalized as these objects. Women do not do that. We don't have the power to even do something like that. And it seems like that's what women keep hearing on the internet. Now, in real life, I don't hear that. I don't hear that type of stuff. But on the internet, it's the majority of men who are very vocal, and they're doing it on all platforms, constantly bashing women about their weight. Yet most Americans are overweight. Most of them, that means men too.
I know. I just can't stand hypocrisy. And me personally, I just have to go around and say this. Um, since I'm the nose candy fartsy around here, I just have to say that some of these men are weak. And me personally, I'm the nose candy fartsy. I just have to say is that some of these men, they just were under a woman so far that they're so mad when they see and intimidated when they see a woman who is way smarter than them. So therefore, since they know they can't get her, since their minds is pea-brained and everything like that, also some of them some men have unrealistic expectation of women. Like, for example, how the heck you think you're gonna be taking nose candy and you think you're gonna get a woman who is seven figures or something like that when your teeth ain't even brushed? Like, come on, your speech ain't even
Passport
right.
Bros is a great example of another delusional thing. They didn't like the American women. The American women are too masculine, X, Y, and Z. And they go to South America, they go into the Asian countries, and they're taking what? They're taking streetwalkers. They're taking less educated women who depend on the tourism and the sex trade to survive. So you went from one trash.
That's why I try to say it all boils down to a pussy. That's it. They don't care about none of that shit. They don't care about none of that shit.
Man, but Golden Goddess, you got to admit something. Some of these men don't even like a woman no more. So therefore, they'll be trying to go and take a person that looks like a woman and marry. So therefore, in my case, and I'm just saying this though too, that most of these guys, when they want to go and they talk all that stuff that they want a woman, you got to be careful too, because some of these guys who are bashing women, they actually they actually go both ways. I'm just saying because I've seen it in my own lifetime. So therefore, if you see a guy who's so angry and everything like that, and he acts like a female, 9 times out of 10, if you actually go to that parade that they have up in New York City or something like that, don't be surprised when they'll be twerking to Ludacris.
The problem is they want to talk about gender roles, but at the end of the day, the gender roles are all messed up. If women are acting masculine, the men are acting like bitches. So what's the difference?
And there's not men. A lot of men are really nice. They're really nice and they're really tender. They're very soft and they're willing, to do what we call traditional things. But they're being overshadowed by this supposed gender role. A lot of men don't care about none of that crap.
Me personally, this is one thing I gotta say, and to me, I don't know about the red pill or nothing like that, but I just say I'm white. That's it.
Okay. Let's let the introvert have a chance to voice his opinion. And let me just state for the record, I was married to someone from the Dominican Republic, okay? The difference is I didn't go to the DR.
Jose, we can't hear you. Oh. All right. Well, hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Ramon.
Hey, so Chica, what's going on? It's been a while. We haven't had an argument in a minute. So we're about to have one now. So
no, we do not need.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get on your ass too. I'm ready tonight, Ramon. I've been waiting for you.
We don't need to get into an argument. I've been fulfilling both my masculine and my feminine roles. I'm a pampered, put upon housewife who also homeschools her children. So I got a life outside of the internet. I still love you all.
No, that's no.
I love my GD.
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I mean, the healthy thing is to have a life outside of YouTube, away from the computer. That's what I try to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I do keep my ears open and I try to listen to what's going on. And I do have a point of view on this whole madness that's going on. Now, for me, I can only give you my point of view on it. As I was telling Jose last night, I'm not really concerned about this lady. I'm not really concerned with her because the bottom line is that, as Jose said, she can have her preferences or all she has, but as everybody else, as with everybody, men, women, everybody, we have to have preferences that actually match what our reality is. The thing with this lady is that she already had it. She already had the high value man. She was actually engaged. But the thing is that she messed it up. She messed it up for herself. From what I understand, she was the one who walked out of the relationship, and she was somebody who refused to get along with the man's kids because he already had kids. And he was already somebody who was high value, like millionaire and all of that, and engagement and all of that. And she was the one who walked out of that. She messed that up for herself. It's gonna be very difficult at her age. And I'm not calling her old, but she is already of a certain age where a lot of the more high value men are not necessarily gonna go for.
No. And you're more so proving our point that that's not true either. That they're creeps because she's a beautiful woman. She's not old and unattractive. She looks amazing. So her options are limited because old men want 20-year-olds. It goes to show the degeneracy of the men in our society.
Yes,
not necessarily 20-year-olds.
That is not true because most marriages that are happening now, there are people who are in their 30s and 40s. Some of them have children, some of them don't. The highest rate of divorces right now, since people like to bring up the divorce rate being initiated by women, it is the older folks. Your grandmas, your great-grandmas, they're the ones getting the divorce. The women in their 50s and 60s are the ones initiating the divorces by 80%. That's what's being brought up. It is not hard for her at her age. If she wanted to get married, she can. She leaving that man because she couldn't get along with his kids, that is the best thing that she could have ever done.
No, but she didn't get along with him because she didn't want it to.
Okay, you don't know that, Ramon. You don't know her. You don't know her.
Their relationship.
You're talking about somebody's relationship that you don't know.
Well, you don't know about it either.
Exactly. I'm not saying definitive statements, though. I'm not saying definitive statements. I'm not sitting up there saying he was wrong, he's the bad guy. I'm not making definitive statements. You are. You're saying she ruined that relationship.
But
you said that she ruined that relationship. We don't know that.
Generally, here that it's all the man. Basically, you might as well just say all of these men are dustpans. You might as well just say that because you're saying everything else that would lead you to think that. Yeah, Jose.
All right, but may I say something, Ramon?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think he should elaborate on that because that's just a general broad statement. All men are dustpans. I don't understand what that means, really.
Because my husband is not a dustpan.
I mean, I work with dustpans, but that's another thing.
Jose, you were saying?
If I can just chime in, please. Okay, first of all, let's not lead more to what it is. Okay, the reality is this. We do not know for Adam why her relationship ended. Okay, or we cannot assume it was all her fault.
Yeah.
Okay, most relationships end, it's usually because it's the fault of the male and the female. Okay, it's very rare it's all one person's fault. Okay, now I can say without flinching, the reason why I ended up in divorce because I was partially responsible and I was married. So I'm not going to put all the blame on my ex-wife. I had a hand in this because when everything is said and done, it takes two people to have an argument. Okay, so I don't think it's appropriate to relationship ended because none of us was. All we know that she was engaged and it ended. We do not know the why. And I think it's foolish on our part to speculate on the why. Because if we do that, we assume, and please excuse the old joke, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And,
and by the way,
but I do have
rich
something
men
though.
also have a lot of options, which means 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be the only woman. Okay, so people get tired of that shit when they have their own finances, where they're like, I don't have to put up with this shit because I have my own resources.
Poor man too, girl. Poor
All
man
right,
too.
but may I
Because how
say
you
something
struggle
too?
up and then you cheating on me? You know, the poor man too doing it, and then the women are leaving the poor man too. Because ain't nobody got no time to be struggle up, and you over here with Mary Jane and having a baby with Sally, no 2 blocks down. Women are just tired. We're just tired. And now when we constantly hear that word of problem, that
All
women
right,
are now
bro.
masculine, women are this and women are that. It's what's happening is that women, the roles are changing, and now the women are now becoming the men. You know
All right,
that
but may
that
I ask
song
you a
Sierra
question
who I wish
though?
I was a boy. That song like
All right,
Sierra. That's really what's happening.
all right, but may I ask you? But may I ask a question though, Hazel? It and people are saying there's higher divorce rates and everything like that.
Yeah,
How do you know that a man that some of these men that they're so tired of being emasculated that they just feel comfortable with the same sex, because you're seeing a lot of divorces happening like that
I
right
have
now,
no idea about
and
the
and
same
and
sex
and
thing.
and
I'm
and
not in
and,
same
and,
sex
and,
marriage.
and the same thing is that you got some females that they get so tired of men, they actually go off and they marry a woman.
Yeah,
So
it
therefore, you're
doesn't
seeing that a lot of
necessarily
stuff
go
going
better.
on too.
I have no idea what's
There
going
are
on with
women,
same sex
there are women that
couples.
so-called get tired of men and they go date women only to find out the same results because the man wasn't necessarily the problem.
All right, but then-
Okay. You know what? You know what?
No,
That is true
please.
because the divorce rate for lesbian women is kind of high. But all that shows to me
yes,
is
it
that
is.
women are better off alone. After a certain age, women just don't want to be bothered. Whether it's a straight couple, a bisexual couple, a lesbian couple, it seems as if women are happiest when they are single. And statistically, there's studies out there show that single childless women live longer. They live
All right.
longer, healthier, happier lives. And whenever a woman says that, whenever someone brings that part up, men get mad and say, "Oh no, you need to have a man in your life. What kind of life are you gonna live if you don't want no man and no children? That's your sole purpose in life is to be a
No, but
wife and a mother." But that's
well,
not true.
women
Exactly.
can tell each other that all they want, but the thing is that when women are alone by themselves for a significant amount of time, then they start getting depressed. They start not
That's not
feeling
true.
so well.
They
That is
get
not true.
depressed when they're
Oh,
with
well,
men as well.
That,
Like
you're
that's
with
not
not
say
true.
married, so
something?
you don't
That's
know
I
not
that.
know
true.
You're
women who
married.
are alone and they happy.
I know a lot of
Okay.
women who
No
divorced
woman,
their
no woman.
husbands, and this is the first time that they ever got to do anything that they ever wanted. There's women that I know that divorced their husband after 30 years and finally felt free to learn how to drive because they couldn't do
You're
anything
going
without the
to
husband's
extreme
permission.
examples. You're going into some extreme example about some woman that allegedly was so in prison
All
that
right.
she couldn't even learn to drive.
But
You're
you're
going
hearing
from
it.
Yo,
You're
Don
maybe
Jose.
that's
maybe
not
Don
right.
men
Dr.
Jose.
maybe
Marlo and
men
she
should
said,
be better husbands and fathers, and maybe their wives won't leave them. Have the men
All
thought about
right,
that?
all right,
Yes, but
Have
I
you're
they
got a
thought
going
about
theory
that?
you're
too
They
going
though.
by the
probably not.
narrative.
They
Okay.
But
probably
I got a
haven't thought
theory
about
Okay,
too
that.
you're
though.
going by
You
the
know what I'm
narrative.
saying?
You're going by the narrative that these women that are having to fight for divorce is because every single one of them is a victim of abuse or a
That's not
victim
true.
of oppression, or
No,
that's
no,
I
that's a
didn't hear
narrative.
anybody up here say that.
That is a narrative.
no.
That is a common narrative.
The majority of if you look at the studies, the majority of the divorces are due to emotional neglect. It's not abuse. Abuse is actually number 3. It's an emotional neglect and financial issue. Abuse and physical abuse and substance abuse is number 3.
That's making it seem like, okay, the man woke up one day and he just felt, oh, I woke up today, let me abuse my wife. I mean, let me start beating up on my wife because I'm just a man, and because I'm a man.
No, men have been beating on the wife before the marriage. That's a lot of that shit was going on, and the women still got married to the man, and that happens in all countries. Not just America.
Okay, excuse me if I can just chime in. I'm gonna state, like I said, I'm the one that's divorced. Okay. I don't claim that my ex-wife was completely responsible. I had a role in the divorce. Okay.
All right. May I say something, Don Jose?
Okay.
Thank you for having me on the panel. I mean, thank you for having me on the panel, but I gotta leave. And have a good.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, as I was saying before, okay, the reason why I ended in the marriage ended in divorce because of issues with me.
Okay, you're muted, Jose. I think you were saying something, but you got muted.
Yeah, and they're also leaving out the group of men that are leaving their wives at 30, 40 plus to get with 20-year-olds as well. They're just conveniently leaving that.
You know the Kendra G show. A lot of men got divorced. They divorced their wives. I've seen on the Kendra G show a lot of men in their 60s.
It's called a midlife crisis for a reason.
They can't just leave their wives without any penalty to it. So they really have to be very sure about what they're doing. So that whole notion, no, but that's not a kind of like a majority thing that men are just leaving and abandoning their wives.
Yes, it was. Men were abandoning their
midlife crisis for a reason.
Well,
men have been abandoning their families for 30, 40 years.
I'm talking about well, men.
Yes, it is. That's why the family courts are here. That's why child support is here, because men were abandoning their family.
But that whole notion that men just abandon their wives to go with their mistress, that's something that you see it in the movies, and you think that's
no, they were.
Even back in the day, they were going to get milk and shit. Even back in the day, they did that shit. They said they were going to get cigarettes or get milk, and they would never come back.
Get milk and never coming back.
Yep.
The men going to the store to get milk and never coming back. That was going on a lot in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And that's why the family court was developed to force men to pay child support and alimony, because these men were in droves, just disappearing, leaving their wives and their children. That was a big thing that was going on. And if there's a problem with the courts and men are so disgruntled, that was created by men. So if it's a problem, the men have to fix that issue. But the divorce, the family court, with the child support and the custody and the alimony was created because men were abandoning their families.
Okay. So that was an issue that has been solved for a number of decades. It might be a thing. It may be a thing. Okay, I'm not denying that was an issue, but I'm talking about what's going on right now. Because there is this argument that men are just divorcing their wives all over the place. That's not what's happening. There are many women.
No, nobody said that.
There are many women that are fighting for divorce just because they're not happy. And you are trying to say that all of these women women are fighting for divorce because they're oppressed, because they're abused, because they're a lot of the time.
That's why they're not happy, Ramon. That's why they're not happy. Don't you get that?
But you
No,
know,
no, no, no,
you're
no, no, no.
leaving
A lot of
out the
these
fact that
women
the
say that
women
I'm not
have been
happy. No,
vocal. The women didn't just
that's a
pick up one
narrative.
day and
That's a
say, "Oh, I
narrative.
want a divorce." The women have
They're
been
not
very
happy.
vocal throughout the marriage that they're not happy, that there's something missing, and after a while, the woman gets tired. The man doesn't want to go to
No,
marriage
no, there was
counseling. He
probably
doesn't want to go to
because they're not
therapy, and
happy.
the women get sick and they leave.
They're not communicating what the problem is. That's a problem with a lot of women. They just wanna.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They talk about it. And a lot of women want marriage counseling, and the men think that there's nothing wrong, that the woman is nagging, and that she's being emotional. And then the woman gets tired of being the only one fighting for the
My
marriage to get
experience,
back
a
to
lot of
how it used to be.
my
Because a lot of men think that
experience,
as soon as they get
women
married, that's
nag
all you
because
have
it's
to do. You get married
entertainment.
and
By
that's
my
it.
own experience, women nag starts fights because sometimes the man has provided enough stability and security in the relationship that they start getting bored. So they want to start shit because they need some excitement in their life.
That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
I
That's
know that.
bullshit.
I know
And
that
you're
from
and
experience.
you're talking to
You
two
can see
It
women
just
who've
sounds
been
it's
married for a
deflection of
long time.
responsibility. These are the men online crying that they're alone because they refuse to take
That's men
responsibility.
not
They
taking
refuse to change their
accountability for the
behavior.
baggage.
They refuse to treat women in the correct manner, but yet they want to
Okay,
be
what's the
online
correct manner?
following other beta
What's the correct
males.
manner?
Any
According to
loser
you.
can make a platform and come out here and
What's
give
the
people
correct
advice.
manner? According to you, what's the correct manner?
Well, I mean, it's different for every person, right? I mean, when you go into a marriage, you would hope that when you first initially get into it, you guys would both have an understanding of, what it is that
Right.
makes you both happy. But when your partner is no longer happy, when your partner is telling you, hey, you're mistreating me, you're disrespecting me, you're cheating on me, or whatever it is that you're doing, and if you don't stop them fucking out of here, don't cry when she leaves. She's told you she was going to leave you.
This attitude that you don't have to you guys don't have to keep each other happy. That as long as you're married, as long as you're providing, that's all you need to do. And that's a big problem because both men and women need the connection. Once life starts happening with children and work and stuff like that, the romance kind of fizzles out. And when the woman tries to bring that back,
Okay.
men think that, oh, I don't have to do that no more. Why I gotta do that? We're married now.
There was a commitment there.
Excuse
saying
me.
they're gonna be married
Okay, excuse me.
through thick and
So there's a
thin.
commitment to stay in some bullshit. And you refuse to do better,
Well,
not
I
you
mean,
personally, but they refuse to do better because
according to
we
women,
made a
men can never
commitment,
do
so I
better.
don't have to do better. Nobody's going for that shit no more.
And also, also a lot of men say, "Oh, I don't know why she left me. I don't know why she left me because she's been telling you for the past 20 years that there's something wrong, and she gets just
You never say
brushed to the side, dismissed that she's being naggy, she's being emotional, hormonal, she's going crazy. All this, and a lot of cheating goes on too in the marriage.
she may have done a lot of the nagging and a lot of the argument, but never actually stating what the problem is.
She did, but you chose to decide that was her nagging instead of listening.
No.
You listen to respond instead of listening to understand.
We listen and we try to problem solve. We're problem solvers. That cannot be true.
Okay,
that can't be true.
You guys are not problem solvers. You guys are not problem solvers. You guys create wars, famine. If you guys were problem solvers, we wouldn't have wars. If you guys were problem solvers, we wouldn't have wars. We'd be talking about shit.
Excuse me, people. Can I just chime in, please? Okay. Again, I'm going to state my own personal situation. I'm not even going to talk about anybody else. I'm just going to state my own personal situation. Okay. The fact of the matter is, in order for a marriage to prosper, okay, there has to be mutual love, mutual respect, and mutual communication. Now, when it comes to my ex-wife, okay, I did try to communicate with her what was the issues that I had with her. She also communicated with me the issues that she had with me. Okay. The problem was, and again, and I stated, and please rewind in case you didn't hear me the first time. I'm partially responsible for the divorce. Unfortunately, we were not able to reconcile our differences, but it was not totally her fault. it's not totally my fault. It took two people to get married. It took two people to destroy a marriage. Okay. And at 60 years old, the fact that I have been blessed to have a lady in my life that accept me for who I am with all my limitation and flaws and what have you, I consider myself very fortunate. But the fact of the matter is this: we have men who have unrealistic expectations, some men. We have some women. Again, some, I'm not saying the majority, good women who are there. It just unfortunately they got stuck with a lemon of a spouse.
I think that we should bring up too, since they're out here crying about, women and degrading women, saying that they're pretty much useless and undesirable over 30, even though they're over 30 themselves. It just goes to show you, and then they want to cry when the marriage doesn't work out. Well, what did you think? You're not the same person at 20 that you are at 30. So if you want to be 40 and you're dating a 25-year-old, don't be surprised when she leaves your ass when she's 35.
When did I say anything about a 47?
No, that's not to you, Ramon. That's not to you. I'm talking about the guy. I'm talking about, content crew. I'm not necessarily saying you. This is not a personal attack on you. This is just the talking points of the group, I guess, that you align yourself with. But I don't know what your personal thoughts or whatever.
I'm not one of those red pill guys. I'm not. I barely listen to those podcasts.
No, this is definitely not against you.
Yeah, there are certain things that I could agree, but there are some other things that I could disagree, because I wouldn't want to date somebody who's young enough to be my daughter. I mean, I wouldn't want that. I mean, I would want her to be maybe a few years younger than me, because that's the way it usually goes. And a lot of women do have a preference for men that are a few years older, because they
want their money, not because they're attracted to them, because they want their money.
Let me finish. Let me finish. There is also the whole thing about the experience and the wisdom. I mean, ideally,
7 to 10 years older. 7 to 10 years old.
But when it comes to many of these modern women, then what you're saying, Golden, will apply. They are just trying to use them for what is in their pockets, because if they get together with somebody,
I think it's a fair exchange, though. They're trying to use them for their youth and beauty, and they're trying to use them for their money. It sounds like a fair exchange.
The modern man with his overweight, beer belly sticking out, thinks he can get any woman he wants to, as long as he has the funds to do so. So it's an even exchange.
To a degree, that's true. To a degree, that is true, because
it is. Yes, but you understand there's no love there, right? You know, there's no love there. Okay.
Well.
There is no love.
No, they don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept that. In their minds, they really feel like those women love them. It's really sad.
They think they can marry this young 20-year-old girl at the age of 50 with gout and high blood pressure. That's not how it's working out.
But not every single time, not every single situation is like there is no love there. It's not in every single situation.
Most of them are.
There are instances.
But every talking point that any of us can say, we would all be able to say, not every single time, not every, there's always exceptions to everything. But generally, as a woman who once was in early 20s, 19, 18, whatever, most of us think that 30 and 40-year-old men that hit on us are creeps.
When I was 14 years old, the majority of the males who were hitting on me were men in their 30s and 40s. I had men in their 50s telling me that if they were my age, the nasty things they would do to me.
Golden, those guys weren't only creeps because you were not attracted to them. If you had been attracted to them, you wouldn't have been.
We were children. I
was not interested in an older man. You guys have to accept that. You guys have to let the delusion go. Let the delusion go. Young women don't want old men, period, unless they have daddy issues.
Okay.
You
What's
can
up,
be
everyone?
attracted to them, even if it
Okay.
is just for the money.
Ex-
There is an interest. There is an interest there.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. The
That's
interest
what
is
you're
the money,
saying.
not you.
That's what you're saying because
The interest is the money, not the
that
man.
may not apply to you, Hazel. And you're married. You're somebody of your own age group. Of course, you
Right,
don't think
right,
that.
right. But what I'm saying to you is, when I was 14, the majority of the men who were going
I'm not
after me
talking about 14
all,
years
they were old
old.
enough to be my father, and there was no motherfucking interest at all. It was fucking creepy.
Of course not. If we're talking about
When
a
I was in
14-year-old,
my
of course
20s, I
not.
did not appreciate a 50-year-old man chasing after me either when I was in my 20s.
Well, it is a kind of like more of a hit or miss. A 20-something-year-old could see something in an older man.
Can I ask if
Yeah,
something?
his money. His
All
money.
you
Not
His
only
gotta
money.
do, all you
not
gotta
just
do is
that,
go
there
to
is also
porn. All you gotta
the
do is go to
wisdom,
Pornhub. Listen, all you gotta do is go to
experience.
Pornhub and go to the main page and see what these men are looking up, and it'll tell you the degeneracy of their mindset.
Also, when you go to Pornhub, you see a lot of father-daughter dynamics.
A lot of father-daughter, incestuous, teen,
Yes.
all that shit. It's the number one picks. So that no man is gonna sit up here and tell me any different because we all know the truth.
Well, it happens when it comes
excuse
to.
me.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Okay. First of all, I want to acknowledge that Risa is in the chat. Thank you very much for stopping by, and she has her own channel. So I'm going to ask that if you have not subscribed,
Hey,
please
Risa.
subscribe to the channel, and let Irby have a chance to say this because we'll all be talking. Let Irby have a say.
You're having a GG panel today, Jose. You got to fight to get a word in today, huh?
Exactly. What's up, everyone?
Because at least it's more love.
Hey,
up,
Irby.
everyone?
Go ahead, Irby.
Hey, Irby, what's up?
Wait,
Irby's a young man. Irby, what do you think about when older women hit on you? Do you think they're kind of creepy? Or
No.
do you like it?
No.
Yo, that's crazy.
Well,
That's
depending on how old you're talking about.
I don't know, 40 plus.
Oh, no.
That's
Well,
12, right?
if she's a cougar who has something to put in your pockets, then I mean.
But you
that.
see, Ramon, then it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the women and the men.
No, definitely. Yeah. When it comes to men, younger men getting with a cougar, then definitely it has to do with some money. But when it comes to women having an interest in somebody who is an older man, okay, there could be the financial stability thing that is of interest, but they can appreciate also what at least it used to be, that they will actually appreciate the man's knowledge, wisdom, experience, what he has already been through. No. That's how it used to be.
That's why they're crying online. That's why they're crying online that these women are leaving them for pookies, because those pookies are around their age and they're sexually attracted to them.
Yeah, I thought pookies and the Ray-Rays were getting all the
and they only have pin for them, nothing else. So that's what it is. Sometimes when women have this long list of requirements, it usually takes more than one man to fulfill all of them.
Right, and men are as loyal as their next option because y'all are doing the same thing. You can have the woman does everything for you, and the man still cheats.
Can I ask? If staying single, then he's exercising his options. So what?
So is she. She's upset. She's exercising her options. But the only problem is that the women is the one that's being picked on because she's exercising her options solely because you are not the option. And I'm not saying you in particular. I'm saying the ones who are complaining about the women having these options they're exercising. It's an issue because a lot of these men feel that those women in general should not have the authority, and they're not mentally stable to make those type of options. Only the mother, only him and the father should be the ones to decide who she sleeps with. Who is the one who has the option?
Oh, can I ask all y'all a question? That's why I came up here to ask all of y'all this single question, since Ramon brought up finance. Can I ask all y'all a question?
What did he bring up? I didn't hear that last part.
Sure, go ahead.
Ramon had brought up something about finance with older men. It can be in reverse. There are women that have more money that want men that want when they get married to sign a prenup too. Just like I was hearing there are rumors that Rihanna said she won't get married unless she signed a prenup.
Yeah, as she should. That's what I'm saying. A lot of men are acting like they're just like only the victims. You can look at Mary J. Blige. He cheated on her with an artist and is getting alimony that's off of the charts, and they don't even got no kids together. So men are also out here exercising their legal rights to obtain resources from women as well.
Wendy Williams is another great example.
Exactly. He threw her down to the dirt. She is destroyed after spending her whole life with him. And she's actually a perfect example. Thanks for bringing that up, Hazel. Perfect example. He's destroyed her physically and mentally.
Okay, but did he do that, or is that an issue that she was already having?
What do you mean? In what regards? I mean, obviously, we all saw after he came out with this baby and this woman, her health declined. Like, have you seen her lately? She looks. It's really sad.
I haven't seen her. So.
And they're still they're still fighting to get all of her money out of her, so he can take care of his new bitch and their new kid. They're fighting for Wendy's money.
I think the court stopped the alimony or something like that because that is what he's complaining about, because he
bought a mansion for this woman a couple of blocks away from him and Wendy's house.
Yeah,
with Wendy's money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're getting a little taste of what a lot of men are going through. Because a lot of
but you see that bitterness? That bitterness is really what puts it back. It's that bitterness of men, though. That's what I don't respect about men online. It's just like
who do we learn
it just sounds like the men are more feminine, and they're saying the women are masculine, but the men are very feminine.
Attention to maybe more feminine, but for the most part,
what I see with a lot of these celebrities are getting that are getting the wives divorcing them and getting half or whatever. The majority of those marriages, there was a lot of infidelity going on. The women just didn't up and divorce the men. Even with the celebrities, it's still not true that they just became unhappy and they decided to divorce their husband and take half of what is both of theirs, not just his alone. Because when you're married, it is not your stuff; it is the both of your stuff. And she was there, and she contributed to the marriage. So yes. A lot of these divorces are not just up out of nowhere because today she felt so pretty that she was too good for her husband, so she's going to divorce him and she's going to take half of his millions. That's not what's going on even in the rich celebrity divorces.
But I just feel like everybody has lost their humanity in general. I'm going to ask you a real question, Ramon. You really think when you see this woman who has given this man like her whole life, they've been together since she was very young, right? And so now she got sick. He dumped her for the side piece and is taking all her money. And your response to that is, oh, well, the women are getting a taste of what men go through. This is the problem with society, that nobody has empathy for anybody else anymore. Everybody's trying to fuck each other over.
What about that B. Simone lady who caught Alzheimer's and her husband moved in his side piece while she was suffering from dementia, lived with his girlfriend in his wife's house. And when she died, she left everything to her husband, and as soon as the money was spent, the girlfriend bounced. They were living off of the wife's stuff, bringing a whole other woman into the house, and it was condoned because she has dementia. She doesn't know who that woman is. It was wrong.
I would have the same feeling for a woman doing that to a man, like him getting sick and her just leaving him and going with
that, because those things when the man gets fucked over, I mean, that's usually celebrated amongst women. So I have
that's not true.
That's not true. No.
And there seems like a lot of
and if it is, because that man was probably a fuckboy.
Yeah, that's
no, he could have been a good man. He could have been a good man and still being celebrated. It's kind of like
it's very rarely that man.
So give us an example. Give us an example, Ramon.
Women, acts of violence from women to men get celebrated amongst women.
But give us an example of everybody celebrating a man, a woman screwing over a sickly man.
Laughing about it. They start laughing about it.
Well, you guys don't say nothing about what men screw over.
Okay, you can keep thinking like it doesn't happen. That's fine.
because it rarely happens. Men are the ones cheating.
Rarely my ass.
But you can't even tell us what happened. You're not even married. You're acting as if something has happened to you.
Well, when I was married, it didn't happen to me because
Ramon, what happened with your marriage? I'm curious, just because then I can better understand your talking points.
Everything was the wife's fault, right? It was all her fault. You had no responsibility for your divorce ending, right?
I haven't said anything. You're trying to put words in my mouth.
I'm asking you. I asked them. Just asking. I'm just asking.
Why did you guys break up? Why did you guys break up, Ramon? Okay. If I can ask.
No, I mean, without getting into the details, it was dissolved. It was amicable. We were adults about it. There was no fighting. There was no pettiness and all of that. Because
that's how most marriages end. That's how most marriages end. Not the way you're making it out to be.
Most, I don't know.
So if your marriage ended amicably and there was no problem and no drama or whatever, then why do you have these such strong feelings against women?
No. I love women. I just don't kiss ass.
Well, maybe
I
don't have a problem pushing back against.
But you know something, Ramon. You're not supposed to kiss it. You're supposed to lick it. Maybe that was the problem.
Okay. All right.
Ramon said he already does. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that. He got it locked down.
Excuse me.
I love you, Ramon. I'm only teasing.
All right, that's fine. All right. No, when it comes to that, if we're talking about what is it called, eating the groceries. I mean, okay, no, that's only
then you gotta eat the booty like groceries. And you gotta get rid of these hoes.
If that happens,
that's right.
If I were to do something like that, it has to be with the right woman. Not every woman deserves that.
Yeah. That's gross.
That's true.
Because that's a very, from what I understand, it's a very powerful thing. Doing that to a woman can really tie her down. You can really cuff her up, tie her down.
I don't know. I take more of the women's side on this bullshit. Just like 18 letter, and he's like, "Oh, they celebrated Kevin Samuel's death." I actually made a video about that and how disgusting it was that they did that. I do feel like I can, look at both sides of things. I totally made a video saying how disgusting it was they were celebrating his death. But at the same time, that's one example when I see they're making videos every day shitting on women. Like, I mean, come on, y'all, get your shit together.
What do you expect?
You guys are still crying over Kevin Samuels. Like, get over it.
Still calling women hoes. Still saying these women ain't shit.
They're saying don't be stepdads, all this shit. Hey, I grew up with a wonderful stepdad. You know what I'm saying? They want to talk about the destruction of society. They are the destruction of society. Women wouldn't be single baby mamas if men didn't impregnate them. Okay? So it goes both ways.
It takes two. So when a relationship ends, yes, the kids do end up with a mother. However, the father still needs to be active and put his authority in and let the kids know certain stuff is not accepted. Certain stuff is not acceptable, and that you were going to be there to make sure that they don't step out of line. But unfortunately, that's not happening.
Ideally, the more kids should be with their fathers. The fathers should have custody, because there are studies that show that even if the mother is not necessarily around all the time, kids can actually be raised good with the dad.
We know that. That's why there's a lot more fathers winning their custody. When a man fights for custody of his children, the majority of the time they win.
I'll admit I've never had to do the whole custody. I'm not a parent myself, but there is the whole notion that many women make it very difficult for the fathers to be able to have like joint custody or
okay, so you go to court and you fight for your rights. You don't sit around online crying about it. You go to court and you fight for your rights.
Let's make that decision, not the mother.
The courts are kind of like mother biased.
That's not true either. That is not true either. They're not biased. The men don't go there and fight for their kids. The majority of men do not.
Excuse me, if I can just chime in. First of all, I just want to acknowledge that the 18th letter is in the chat. Good evening, Marquine. And I just want to let everybody know that he has a YouTube channel, so please consider subscribing to his channel. Now,
yes. Hurry up, 18th letter. They need backup. They need backup. Come on.
I'm fine on my own.
No. Okay. If I can just get 2 minutes, please. Now,
yeah, I'm gonna get down soon so y'all can talk.
Okay. Now, in my case, I'm very fortunate because even though my marriage ended up in divorce, I am blessed to have a special lady in my life who happened to be 22 years my junior. Okay. Now, when I started talking with Clara, I made it perfectly clear. You do know that I'm considerably older than you. Okay. I'm older than you. I don't got much hair. I'm as big as a house. Okay. So let's keep it 1,000. But you know what? She thought, you know what? Even though I'm old as dirt, even though I'm as big as a house, even though I'm basically got no hair left, she saw enough stuff with me that was positive. So,
and you know what, for your benefit, because I love you, Jose, I hope that's true. But it also could be that you're in America, you can get her a passport and she can come over here and you have your own place and you have your whole shit set up.
She's going for the long haul, Jose, the long haul. She's playing the long game.
Passport?
You know what? Time
you low-key passport, bro. Low-key passport, bro.
Yeah, my ex-husband's his father moved back to Dominican Republic. He's banging 22-year-olds over there, and he's an old ass man. Like, let's just keep it real. This is what these men want to do. They want to go to third world countries and get all the benefits of being a king without actually having a king's resources.
Yeah.
The ones that are very loud about it online, they're making it bad for others who actually want to get the experience of traveling. I for one have done it a little bit myself, that have done the traveling, but it's because I wanted to do that traveling and seeing other places. If along the way, as a man, I were to meet a woman and get along and have her company and something like that, it's something that happens organically. It's not so. I'm not trying to go to another country just because I wanna hook up with some hoes. I mean, that's.
I thought you had a girlfriend.
No. It's something that I have done. I'm talking about what I have done before.
Oh, okay.
No. Today, these days, I'm a little more settled and I'm more steady with only one person. But I'm talking about what I have done in the past.
Uh-huh.
But if I have met somebody and it's been kind of like an organic thing, I'm not trying to go to some red light this street where it is definitely I'm gonna be getting some kind of an offer. Somebody's gonna be approaching me or something. But yeah. Unfortunately, there are certain types that do get online and do get very vocal about going to places and trying to hook up with some chicks. Yeah. Those guys are garbage. But eventually, they end up getting in trouble and.
But what makes them more garbage than the guys that do it, that don't broadcast it? They're still doing the same thing. They're traveling for sex tourism.
Well, that's something that has been happening for a long time, because right now they try to make it seem like it's only one demographic that's doing that, but this is something that has been happening since the Second World War, at least. That was kind of like, it was, let's face it was the white guys that were already doing it all over the Asian region. I mean, you can look it up. That's true. Yeah. So trying to make
that
it
Asian persuasion. The white guys can't resist it. Okay, that's their preference.
It's not fair to make that about one demographic. That's something that has been going on for a long time. The original passport bros were the white guys that were that they will be in the service, and later on they will go back to certain places in Asia because they could have access to a lot of women for the cheap.
It's just because black people are more flashy, you know, and we like to like show our shit and wear our name brands and that's, you know, shit like that. Just like they want to go and tell all their business all over social media, and they're messing it up for themselves. But you know, I don't feel bad for them.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't knock anybody from going overseas to find a girl, but
I'm
more
sorry. The
comfortable.
18th letters backstage, Jose. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him.
Oh,
Can I
he got cut off.
can I respond?
It's just
Can I respond?
Go ahead. I was just
Go
saying
ahead.
he was
Yeah,
backstage.
yeah, yeah. Let's hear it.
Well, I don't knock anybody for like going overseas or me. I'm just more comfortable with dating my fellow American women. I'm just more comfortable. You know, there's a culture problem. There's going to be a culture barrier and a language barrier on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cultural barrier is something that I don't need.
I don't find anything wrong with going overseas and dating or mating or whatever with someone else. My issue is bad mouthing the women here, propping up the women overseas. That is a problem. That's the problem.
Hazel.
Yeah,
Hazel.
I got a problem with that too.
No,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
like, okay, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
And first, I had to shout out to my boy Ramon.
People, let's
Shout out to
welcome
my
the
boy
18
Ramon. Shout out to
brothers
Jose.
around the game.
Yeah, you see the
Hey, shout out
camaraderie
to
of the
my
men. They
YouTube
come up
dad.
like, yeah, shout out to my brothers. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
When we do that, it's a problem.
Absolutely.
The feminists, the feminists. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not allowed to be feminist because you're having camaraderie amongst yourself. It's just trashing us. Mhm.
GG, you guys have had the microphone for the last 50 years. The men get the microphone for the last 10 years on the internet.
Oh, cry me a river.
Women are
The men have
losing.
ran the world
Women
since
are
the beginning of
losing.
time. Cry me a river.
You guys
women are
have
losing y'all minds.
had YouTube for 20 years talking shit about women, and now they're talking back. That was a problem.
Jose, is
Men
this
is
a full-blown gender war you got going on tonight, Jose?
It must be, because once you bring up this visa, what is her name? I don't know who this lady's name, the bus driver lady.
And look at Hazel. Look at Hazel exaggerating the years. YouTube only been around
That
for
was
15.
not my gender.
You men have been in control of YouTube. Men created YouTube, and you guys have been controlling YouTube, talking shit about women for decades.
They know that Tommy.
No.
They know that
Not
Tommy
decades,
Sotomayor started all this and kicked this off.
There
They
you
know
go.
that. They know
There
that.
you go.
And,
There you go.
I don't follow Tommy Sotomayor. I mean, I have heard it many times. I don't follow dude.
No, but he's the one that
I don't
started
follow
all
him
this
either.
like rhetoric. You know what I mean?
No,
Against
this
the
rhetoric.
women.
There's a lot of
Bashing
this
black
stuff that's
women.
going on. No, a lot of this
Using
stuff that's
Hispanic
going on.
women against black women. That's been going on.
No.
Yes, it is.
That's why a lot of the
You wanna
hate.
pin
There's
lie.
why there's a lot of hate towards mixed women is because of the men have weaponized us
No,
against
that's
black
not
women.
true.
You got men on,
That
you
is
got
not
men on
true.
YouTube talking
That's
about
not
Latina
true,
women. White women are better than black women. Black women have nothing but fake hair, nails, eyelashes. Latina's better. She has all that natural. I don't want no masculine black. I don't want no Western woman. I want a Hispanic woman, a Latina woman. I want a Filipino woman. A lot of you have been doing that on the internet for a long time, and now it has brought animosity between the different races of women. So you're not going to come up in here and tell us women who experience it that that's not true.
That's not true, Hazel.
Because
That's not
we're
true.
feeling the heat. Don't give me that shit
That's
that
not what
is
bring-
not true when we're feeling the heat of the shit that you all have been saying.
No, ain't no you all nothing. Hold on.
Yes, you're one of them that has said that black women, there's a problem with black women in America.
It is. It is. It is.
Okay,
Yeah, but there's
and
a
that
problem with
brings
black men in America as
There
well.
brings issues between non-black women and black
I'ma let you
black
I
finish.
don't think that black
I'ma let
women
you
are
finish.
tearing up the communities. I don't think they're shooting up the communities. I don't think they're doing all the crime in the communities. So I mean, I just think we should be fair here. Let's be fair, you know.
Yeah, let's be fair. Who's raising these kids? Who's raising the ones that's
Well, where
shooting
are
up
the
all of these?
fathers?
They
Where
should
are
have.
the fathers? Where
Well,
are
What
the
if it's such a
fathers?
problem,
what was the
if the single,
fathers?
if the black women is such a problem for you, a lot of you men need to come on and take care of your kids because you think you could do much better than
Listen, they
whining
don't
about them.
understand that when they come up here and they spew this rhetoric, that literally even white men laugh at them because they don't
And
take accountability.
on top of that, I guess your mother raised you really horribly because you're saying who raised these men. Are you saying your mother was a horrible mother too? I hope you're
Well,
not, because you're
I'm not
talking
gonna
bad
get
about
into
your own
that.
mother.
I'm not
Of
gonna get
course
into
you're
that.
not. Of course you're
I'm
not.
not
Your
gonna get
mother's
into
an
that.
exception. She's an
Okay,
exception to the rule.
guys, can we just
Am I gonna be able to speak,
guys, can
or
we
am I
just
just gonna
tone
keep
it
getting
down
yelled
just a
at?
bit?
Can I speak now?
Go
Yes,
ahead.
let's try to let's try to tone it down a bit. I'm sorry, Rakim. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, first and foremost, that is not what causes division between the women or anything like that. A lot of these women have deep rooted insecurities, and they project their insecurities onto some of the men. Do you have men that say foul stuff? I'm not denying that. But to act like that, it doesn't to act like that's the end all be all and that's what caused the divide. That's not what caused the divide. What caused the divide was the feminist movement in the 60s, that a lot of women of color that picked up that a lot of these feminists who had issues with their own men, who had issues with white men, picked up black women for numbers, and then black women eternalized that information and tried and pretty much turned on their own men, and a lot of black men were not even in the position to be tyrants and be abusive. Once the corporate and people that own the media saw that it was beneficial to do that, they started doing all the media promotion, the magazines promotion, talking about these women are becoming independent and what's wrong with the black man, and the television shows and everything. And it's been a lot of misinformation that has been spreaded, that has been eternalized, and people have taken it for truth. You had a lot of black men that was doing very well. They were providing for their families and doing everything that needed to be done. It was the women that decided that they wanted to be able to take certain incentives from the government, and that's pretty much what destroyed the family, because the more and more incentives that they took from the government, that they feel like that
Then the
they
less
didn't
they
need
had to
to.
deal with y'all shit. Yeah.
No,
No, it
that's not
wasn't no
true
shit
either,
to deal with.
because there's documentaries saying that the
It's
men will go into
documented
the same
information.
program to keep the family together. The men will go into the government program so they can stay in the home and work and provide for their family.
I am
So
going to
what do you
say,
think
though, that
about
I
this?
side with black women on that issue, because I have never, even in this space, I've done a poll. My channel is majority mixed light skinned people, mixed or light skinned black people. And I've never met a single light skinned woman or mixed race or exotical or Latina woman that has not told me that black men do not approach them and say that they do not date or like black women. I have never met one single one that has told me they have not met one that has said that. It's true. It's just true.
I had black men say that to me too, and I find that
Yeah,
awful.
it's true. Yeah.
If black
For
men
whatever
was this,
reason, whether it's
if
the white people's fault or
okay,
not, but it's still an issue, you know?
listen, if black men was this evil, if black men was the boogeyman that everybody portrayed
Nobody said that
that
you
they
guys are
were.
evil and boogeyman
That's
either.
drama.
Well,
Yeah, that's
that's what
dramatization.
I mean. That's what everybody tries to make it seem like with all of these channels and everything. The second that black men start clapping back, now it's become an issue.
No, you
I
guys
get it,
have
but I
been
don't.
running your mouths
Hazel,
for
can
the
I
last
You guys
speak?
started
since
it.
Hazel,
YouTube
can I
started
speak?
it. You guys
Because we
started it.
didn't. No, we didn't start nothing. We didn't start
Yes, you
anything.
guys
Black
Yes,
did.
you
men
did.
started.
Reference Tommy
Yes, you
Sotomayor.
did. There was no women channel. There was no Cynthia G when Sotomayor was out. It was mostly men. YouTube was created by men.
Okay, can
You
I finish?
got the Cynthia G because of the shit that you guys were saying. Well, not
Can I
you in
finish?
particular. I don't want you to think this is an attack on you. Let me not say you, because people say you and then you think that it's you. This
Well,
this
can
thing
I
this
finish
this
really
thing with the
quickly?
YouTube bashing women have been going on way before any Cynthia G, Shira Seven, Tiny TKO. Any of those women came out.
Can I finish really quickly? Once those women saw that it was a market in bashing black men, and they was able to
Oh
build up
God.
their audience and get monetization, and once the monetization of YouTube changed and the algorithm and everything, That's when they capitalize on that. When everybody want to talk about Cynthia G, people forget that it was Boyce Watkins that put Cynthia G on. Boyce Watkins put Paris Milan on. Sergeant Willie Pete put Chrissy on. All these women was brought to the forefront by men. The same they was brought
because
in
it's
these spaces
patriarchal. Duh.
Yeah.
and it's
What
still,
does that have to do with the fact that y'all were talking shit first?
Hold up.
It's deflection.
So
You know what, Gigi? It was before that. It was in the Bible when Adam blamed Eve for everything.
Oh, okay.
I can't speak at all.
Now I started to stick. Now I started to put stick.
Well, because 18 letter, you're going around in circles instead of just denying or confirming the point that you made.
Had a chance to speak.
What do you mean? You've been going in circles over and over and over, deflecting.
How am I going in circles when I haven't even had a chance?
Because she said that Tommy started it, and then you start going around in circles about every other thing in the world. Did Tommy not or did start this?
You're giving Tommy Sotomayor way too much power. Okay, he may.
What do you mean? Even the manosphere, everybody credits Tommy. What do you mean? He's the godfather of this shit. Everybody knows.
If I'm not mistaken, it was the white man who started the red pill or something like that. The manosphere started with the white man.
Yeah, but when the black man followed, it was
started with white men.
The manosphere was started in 2006 by white men. It wasn't started by Tommy Sotomayor.
There you go. But it was men.
Okay, well, guess what? They did form. They formed the black manosphere. They formed their own group.
Okay, Ramon and Ramon got a good memory just like I do. Ramon, do you remember about Tommy Sotomayor getting punched in Harlem by a man?
It was men that
I saw that video.
It was men that did that because not everybody, not all men were agreeing with him. He was talking certain shit that he shouldn't have, and he ended up getting confronted.
But nobody's saying that everybody agrees with Tommy. I'm just saying that as far as that the black manosphere.
You're saying you man.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you guys are up here defending their talking points.
Which means the majority.
Well, you guys are defending those talking points. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I ain't defending.
And then this whole thing of who's raising the children, who's raising the children in the community. Well, obviously, that's a problem there because you guys are complaining about how the women are raising the children, but yet not doing anything to contribute, not getting a hold of your children and doing better than
take your asses home back to your baby mamas and take care of your kids. How about that? Make your family complete. Marry your baby mamas.
Well, certain women need to choose better.
We're not talking about
being laying down with the pookies on the race and having their baby.
Right.
Well, then the pookies and the babies are the ones that are complaining, doing the most of complaining on the internet because they're the ones with the most baby mamas.
Women are getting with the guys that already have like 5 or 6 or 7 baby mamas. They're gonna be any different with them.
Yeah,
well, they chose to lay down with that woman too. So you can't blame everything on the woman when you leave, when the men leave, and then the woman do a terrible job. And there's terrible mothers in every race. There's terrible mothers in every race. Let's not just make a whole black woman a terrible mother.
Listen,
well, not even talking about one.
We're not talking about black. We're not talking about race in general. We're not talking.
Well, you're the one who was saying, "Oh, the black man's so bad, the boogeyman," and you the one who was there.
When you said who raised the children in your community.
Yo, wow.
18 letter, you came up here saying initially the first thing that came out of your mouth was about the single mothers. My whole point is I don't blame the men exclusively either. I'm just saying, why can't we not all agree that men and women are responsible for raising children?
You said who's raising these children? Who's raising the children? You're implying that the mothers are the ones raising these horrible children. Are you saying that other race? If you're saying that other races of single mothers raise these horrible children in the community, again, then that means men as a total, you guys are fuck ups and not taking care of your kids. But I know you weren't talking about women for the race.
Take your asses back to your baby mamas and take care of your kids and raise your kids so we can have a better next generation. Why aren't y'all making channels saying that shit instead of sitting around crying about baby mamas? Take your asses home to your baby mamas. You lay down, you made the kid with her, you're stuck with her.
Marry these women before you sleep with them. That's another thing. You're blaming the women for having unwedded sex, but you guys contributed to that.
This is all emotion.
Excuse
This
me.
is just all emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it's all
There they
emotional
go.
because you're blaming the women for the horrible raising of the children.
And you
The
guys are
ones that
just drowning
actually,
me
the
out.
ones
I
that
ain't had.
actually stick around,
Oh
the
my
ones that actually
Yeah,
God.
stick around
Oh
and
my
deserve fucking
God.
respect. The ones that
yeah.
stick around that deserve the fucking
Oh my
respect.
God.
Listen. I think men should make a manual on how to raise
Um,
children and give it to these single mothers. How about that? Since they
Yeah,
have
since
all
they
the
can't be
answers.
there, since they can't be there in the
No,
household,
they
maybe
have
they
all
should
the
write a book.
answers, Gigi, so they should make a manual.
Yeah.
A manual.
Look,
Yeah,
look,
they can't
look,
be there in
look,
the
look.
homes.
Check
They
this
might as
out.
well, right? They know everything.
Right? Yeah, make a whole book about it. The same way they write whole books about how to fix a car,
excuse me.
whole books about how refrigerators, make a whole book on how to raise the children and give it to these single mothers.
Can we all get along?
Of course we
So
can.
can I ask
Well,
you
what do
guys
you
a
mean?
question?
I like everybody up here on this panel. We just have differences
Yeah,
of
I like
opinions.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just joking, y'all.
I don't have no issue with Ramon or 18 I
Yeah,
don't
me
have
neither.
No, it's
Okay,
fine.
excuse
It's fine.
me.
I
Can I?
got no.
Excuse me.
I'm just gonna say that
Can I
Ramon,
chime
you messed
They're
up because
mad
you're
because they
supposed to
can't
lick it,
dispute the
not
talking
kiss it.
points.
Messed up on what? Messed up on what? Messed up on what?
You messed up your marriage because you were supposed to lick it, not kiss it, okay? Get it right.
Wow.
No, well, not every
Excuse
woman
me,
deserves that.
people.
Not every woman deserves that.
That's the only beef I got.
Ramon.
That's the only beef I got with Ramon.
Okay.
You didn't do it
People,
right.
can I chime
Well-
in, please? People, can I chime in, please? I don't believe I have to struggle on my own platform.
My
Jose,
bad,
I
my
don't
bad.
feel like you're enjoying this stream already.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
There's been drama.
Okay,
There's been
so
plenty of
guys,
drama tonight.
ladies and gentlemen, can we at least agree with the following?
With the what?
Agree with what?
Okay. Can we at least agree with the following? Both men and women make poor choices. Okay?
Absolutely.
Hear me.
Yeah.
Men and women make poor choices regarding their dating, regarding who they lie with, who they get married, and what have you. Number one. Number two, feminism in its original form was there to address a lot of inequalities that existed with women. Women at one time could not vote. Women at one time could not own property. One time, women could not run for politics. They could not discipline their children. Okay, and they were literally the physical property of men. Okay,
And we took it too far when we decided on who we were gonna have sex with. Then we took it too
That's
far.
why inherently deep down inside,
Okay.
since it was always like that, they want that back. They like us to be propertying. Not they, I'm not gonna say all, but inherently that's how things always were. So that's why they have that pushback for that. And they want to say, oh, the feminists and this and that,
Listen,
because
if most men
missed
was
that
like
time
that,
where we had
if
no
most men was
fucking
like that,
rights.
if most men was like that, y'all would have never had rights to begin with. If most men was like that, let me just say this, because I've been letting everybody speak. I've been letting everybody get their blows out, throwing their haymakers.
Not their
and all
blows.
of that. I get perfect example. Ramon, that's my boy. Ramon, do men have a tendency to lie to each other when we going through stuff, or do we tell each other the truth?
No, we tell each other the truth. Us men, we are, because there is no reason for us kind of like coddling each other and telling each other some bullshit.
The lies,
that is
girl,
gonna be
lies,
productive.
girl.
We're gonna have to tell each other the truth,
Guys,
and it's gonna be for
1%
our own
of the time,
benefit.
please.
Now, are women known to coddle their girlfriends, or do they tell their girlfriends the truth?
Oh, unfortunately, there could be exceptions, but a lot of the times women do tell each other that it's never their fault. They rub their back saying it's not your fault, it's his fault. You're right, you're a queen, you're perfect, you never do anything wrong. It's the
Please,
guy's fault.
men do that all the time. My husband
Men
talks shit to his
don't.
friends.
No, men
Talks
don't.
shit to his friends, and they're like, bro, man,
We don't
bro,
call each other like that.
stop
No,
it.
no,
Y'all
we
do the
don't.
same thing.
No, we don't.
Listen, my husband has done that too. Go to his friends and say a whole bunch of shit about me, and the friend had to say, listen, compared to the other women out here, you got a good one here. He used to do that too. He used to do that too when he was younger. and he
We
wasn't
don't use
innocent.
that.
They all tell each other the truth until they try to screw their best friend's wife on the side. They tell the truth and they want.
He's a piece of shit. If he's doing
Yeah,
that, he's a piece of shit.
but that's an exception situation when somebody's trying to use that, kind of like trying to put their foot in, trying to interfere into a relationship between two other people, kind of like a triangle type of bullshit
He's on that.
situation.
Yeah, that's
it
that.
happens, but that's for the most part. That's not what it is, because men, for the most part, know that a man trying to step to somebody else's woman, there could be some serious consequences, and we know that. I mean, somebody could end up getting hurt or even deleted. So that, for the most part, that's not.
If men were telling men the truth, and they would be online saying, "Look, we have a hand in this problem with the whole like broken family situation," they wouldn't sit around circle jerking talking about it's women's fault.
Let's get
for decades, it's been
decades, for
blaming the men.
decades.
For decades, during the media and the television, all of the talk shows, the TV shows, that is always
Yeah, they be telling each other that they're the prize. Knowing damn well half of them don't even have to go.
Now you're just being childish.
But you guys are also a little bit older. You guys have to take into account the younger generation. They don't think the same, okay? They do think that they're the prize. They do think that women need to compete for them. And maybe you guys do too. I don't know, but it's never been like that. It's not the order of things, you know?
But you know what? It wasn't like that, Golden, because at that time the roles, a man was in a masculine role and a woman was in a feminine role. Even like now things have changed. When a lot of these women want power. They want power, but they want power and they're expecting things to still be traditional. It's not working like that.
Gigi, didn't these men say they wanted 50-50? That you have to come with what you asking for? So the woman said, okay, I'm gonna come with what you asking for. Then realize that they didn't actually need the man because they could just do it themselves. Isn't that what was going on? They want 50-50.
Well,
and the woman was like, no, I don't want to do
50-50.
50-50 is not traditional. 50-50. Okay, they can say that they want 50-50 because
the problem today is women have to work. So the woman is expected to work a full 8 hours. And then she has to come home to cook and clean and take care of the man, take care of the kids, and make sure the homework gets done and all the other stuff. And then she has to work full time.
Nobody's expecting all of that at the same time coming from
a lot of men now want the woman to come with a full-time job. She has to help pay the bills, but then he don't want to contribute to the household work.
No, they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want because they're on there saying, we don't care about your education. We don't care about your money. They're saying both ways. But, just like every group.
Oh my God!
And certain men want certain things.
I gotta speak.
One group of men want certain things, and another group of men want another.
Hold up. The only reason men are saying we don't care about your education or we don't care about the money because a lot of women are trying to lead with their education and money. They're trying to play the game like a man, like a man.
No, because you guys are asking the woman what does she bring to the table. You guys are asking the woman what does she bring to the table.
Do you guys not agree though? Do you guys not agree that you got to pay the cost to be the boss? I mean, if your woman is taking care of all the bills, why would you expect to have any authority over that woman?
You guys are asking the women what do you bring to the table.
Wait, hold up. Me or
what do you bring to the table? Okay, so when she tells you about her 5 degrees and her
Hazel.
Wait, hold up.
Let him talk, Hazel.
Me or Ramon or Jose do not condone a woman paying all of the bills and the man not doing nothing. That's a fucking loser. And men are quick to call other men out that's doing that. Men have been holding other men accountable for God knows how long. Now that the pendulum is switched and they've seen that a lot of these women are constantly moving the goalposts so they don't have to have any type of accountability for their own actions, now it's a problem. Now, and
accountability for what action? What action do you want them to take accountability for?
Let him finish.
Is anybody paying any attention to the economy and where the economy is going and how tanked the economy? Men pay attention to these things. Women are so
Yeah,
used to living in a
but
damn fantasy
men have
world
fucked up
that
the
they think,
economy.
oh my goodness,
Oh,
not
okay,
us, not
All
us.
put it all
right,
on
Oh
Um,
men.
my
Women
goodness,
are
No,
the
we
bigger
live in a
consumers,
patriarchy,
Golden.
not a
Women are the
matriarchy.
biggest spenders, Golden,
No,
not men.
no, you guys are the biggest spenders with your nonstop wars.
excuse me
Your
a second.
nonstop
it's the
deforestation.
nonstop war. Yeah, nonstop war.
No
Y'all
stop
can't stop
war.
warring with each
Well,
other. Why can't
you're
y'all be
talking. That's a
honest? Why can't
government.
y'all be honest? You guys are inherently oppositional and you fight amongst each other. That's why we've
Very
had war since the
emotional,
beginning of time.
very emotional, unstable, and unreasonable. Constantly want to fight each other, bomb each other, and all this other shit that's going on in the world. But we're the emotional ones. We're not the
Well,
ones creating
the
these wars.
wars are geopolitics, not emotions. We're not the emotional ones.
No, they're geared towards emotion.
What the
They're
wars are
geared towards
happening.
emotion.
I think some emotions would do us some good because then there would be some heart and empathy for the people that are suffering all over the world for these endless wars. You know, the actual people that are suffering, the
let me ask
children,
you a
the
question,
women,
Golden.
the families, the young boys.
Let me ask you a question, because everybody here is American. So, because I hear a lot of women say things like this, but you know perfectly well as I know, if people said today, like what Ramon was saying, this is geopolitics. This has nothing to do with emotion. It's about resources, and these are our top elites that are making the decisions, not regular men. But if that meant taking away from your lifestyle that you became accustomed to, living as an American, you wouldn't want it
But
to
they're
stop.
not coming over here. We're going to other countries. They're not coming over here. We're going to other
That
countries.
doesn't really make sense. For the problems that we're involved in are really not our problems, so it kind of doesn't make sense, you know. But I do get it. As Americans, we want to be number one, blah blah blah. So we're inserting ourselves in everybody's
not
business
just that.
around the world.
But Americans take everybody else's resources that cause the fucking problems.
And it goes back to the
to
same
our
thing.
living.
You got to pay the cost to be the fucking boss, you know.
And the men have to take accountability because the men are the ones who created the wars. It's not the women.
Ramon, I hear you over there. Your side jabs.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a word in.
I'm actually enjoying this conversation. I don't know why you guys are getting frustrated. It's actually pretty good.
I'm not frustrated.
Okay.
I am. You guys keep cutting me off.
Hello.
No, Jose is frustrated because he can't get a word in. Jose's frustrated. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be quiet, Jose. What's up?
And Jose, you got a mute button.
It's just that my Wi-Fi is going. My Wi-Fi is acting up, and I can't even get in the word edgewise. Okay. First of all, can anyone hear me? Number one. Now I'm gonna ask. Okay, I'm gonna ask the ladies a question, and please let's keep it civil. Okay. If I'm pursuing someone, and I state, I have these qualifications, okay? I am loyal, I'm faithful, I have my own place, I have a job, I take care of my bills. This is what I can offer you. Are you saying that I, in return, cannot ask what the female is offering to me if I'm stating one offer?
Essentially, what you bring to the table is what I think that Jose is talking about. That question that you hate to hear, because we are having to bring everything, but we can't ask for anything. Well, Jose will be back. He'll be back.
Answer that first, you me.
You can go ahead because I know these are trick questions. Go ahead.
First of all,
oh my God!
If you have to ask that question, then you have picked the wrong one. If you have to ask that question, you have picked the wrong woman. You don't know what you're doing. Because if you have to ask the woman, what does she bring to the table? Where have you been that whole time? You don't know that she works. You don't know if she has children. I thought I was supposed to answer this question. Am I supposed to answer the question, or the woman is supposed to answer? The men want to answer the question, or the women want to answer the question? Who was it supposed to answer, the men or the women?
Y'all get so angry.
You see, the question
I'm not
is
angry at all. I'm chilling.
Nobody's angry. I'm just saying the question is flawed. because my husband never asked me, what do I bring to the table? We got to know each other. He knew what I knew.
That's what separates the betas and the alphas and the suckers and the
Oh,
leaders.
here
Like,
we
let's
go
be
with
honest.
this.
He never asked me what
I've
never met a successful man that's like, what do you bring to the table? Like, what do you, I mean, what do you, I've never experienced that. It's always dudes that don't have a lot to offer. It's dudes that don't have a lot to offer that ask those questions. That's it's just
right.
Excuse me.
Right. If you have to ask that question.
Can I just ask this quick question, Jose?
Because you need some.
So, what part is women responsible for with all of this mess? Because we're
responsible for, what do you mean? Taking care of the fucking kids, taking care of the house, taking care of our husbands, and working if necessary. And if necessary,
Gigi, no.
Wrong.
Well, you know what, Hazel, I am traditional though. But Hazel, I am traditional. You know that. So
listen.
I do cook. I do clean. I do everything. You know?
It is their responsibility to know what the individual woman that they choose, what her responsibilities and her accountabilities are. He's asking a general question. My responsibilities and my accountabilities is what I do for my family, what my husband and I speak about. What works for us may not work for you. So that kind of question is too broad. Just like, what does the woman bring to the table? Well, what have you been doing this whole time that you've been engaging with this woman that you don't know anything about what she can add to your life? You understand? Because my husband didn't have to ask me, what do I bring to the table? Okay? He was the one who was pursuing me. I wasn't pursuing him. So he told me what he can add to my life.
And let's be honest, the only thing you guys actually care about is if the woman is like beautiful. Like, so let's be, what else do you fucking want?
That gets you in the door, but that's so over and done with, Gigi.
But you know what, Gigi? My education was very
because that's why these men are crying online, because they have fell for these terrible women's beauty. They fell for these women that are beautiful that have terrible character. Beauty trumps everything when it comes to women.
My education is very important. These men Ramon said the 18th letter said that men don't care about the education, but that's the totally opposite of what I got. My education was very important.
No, what we saying, we don't care, like, when you're trying to, like, flash it in our face to make it seem like, oh, I got this degree and this.
That's not going to make us attracted.
We're just trying to. That's not going to make us attracted to you. Like, oh my God, look at all of those degrees. It's
exactly, it's the beauty. Like I said, it's the beauty.
That's right. So the woman is coming up to you and saying, "Hey, 18th letter, I like you. I got 5 degrees and I make $250,000. What are you going to give me for that?" No, you guys are having a conversation and you're asking this lady questions, and she's telling you that she got 5 dual doctorate degrees or quadruple doctorate degrees. She makes $250,000, and that hits the ego. She's not coming to you just telling you about her degrees and her high salary.
You know what's my next question is going to be? You want to know what my next question is going to be for that?
Go ahead.
How much fucking debt you got?
How much debt does the man have? How much backed up child support do you guys have?
If a woman has several degrees,
not how much child support, girl.
Yes, girl, no. Because their child support debt becomes yours, honey, depending on
why are all these single baby daddies complaining about child support and single baby mamas when they're single baby daddies? I just feel like everybody's delusional. It's not just women.
Her college debt is not your problem. That is her debt.
It becomes the man's problem.
It becomes your problem. It becomes your problem.
She will
make it becomes your problem. It becomes your problem when you marry her, knowing that she has that debt.
Even before
you don't marry somebody with that type of debt.
She was gonna be expecting him to pay for it.
Pay it. Listen.
But it's okay for you to live in that woman's house.
Be the boss.
Hazel.
You know something, Gigi. You know something, Gigi.
Wait, hold up.
My uncle paid for my house education. There was no problem with him paying for her education. Not one time he regrets paying for her education.
Right now.
I don't know.
It is women out here right now who got
These
with a
women are
person.
paying their own debts. I don't know how you telling us that she wants you to pay for debts.
They're trying to get Biden to pay for it. They're trying to get Biden to pay for it. They're not paying the goddamn thing.
Yeah, but can we really can't ignore though, and especially if we're talking about gender war or whatever, we cannot ignore that the women have considerably more income and education than the men.
And it's also the men are also asking for debt for school debt pardons from Biden. Okay, stop acting like it's all women. It's both genders and races and ages across the board.
It is
asking for some type of school debt.
Oh my goodness, you are a full blown feminist. It is mostly women. You know why? Because
and there's nothing wrong with being a feminist. Just like you up here, riding for the brotherhood. Just like you up here riding for the brotherhood. There's nothing. Let me tell you something. If there's women on here that are not defending women, there's something wrong with that woman. Okay, just like you're defending men, it makes sense because you're a man. Stop trying to shame women for defending themselves as we should.
Because I don't agree with you. You call me a feminist because I don't agree with you.
No, they try to make feminist a dirty word. They try to make feminist a dirty word. But it would never been no feminist if we would not have been property in the past.
If I'm a feminist, so fucking what? That doesn't matter. But you see how I disagree with you, 18 better, and I didn't call you no name. I didn't have to stoop down low and call you. That is your problem right there. You don't have the respect to, when someone disagrees with you.
I don't let them trigger me with a feminist term. I think it's weird that they do that.
And I don't care. If you think I'm a feminist, if you think I'm a feminist, that's fine. I'm the one that's mad.
The problem is the pygmishas follow them around and blow them and build into their egos and tell them that everything they say is right. So I don't know.
They don't pick that woman.
Yes, it is. They're out here. They'll put down women to the detriment of themselves.
Why don't you go with the women that agree with you? Because there's a lot of women that agree with what you're saying, the 18 better. But to call me a feminist, first of all, I like that. First of all, you calling me a feminist, actually, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Because you got emotional and you had to call me a name. So that shows a lot of people. I didn't call you.
But why is feminist considered a name?
I don't know, but you see, when they call you that doesn't bother me. I'm just saying that they try to use it as an insult, so he threw that in there. And
every disenfranchised group has a group of people that defend them. Stop letting people trigger you about being called a feminist. Who cares? We are women. We're supposed to be invested and interested in the things that affect us as women. That's normal.
Right.
They're trying to make it as if it's not normal, but it is. We are women.
Hold on a minute. It's not that I think that there's something wrong with that. I don't care that they throw that word feminist around so much. It's like the N word. It's just something that comes out and it just is disregarded. What I'm saying is he tried to use that to insult me.
I know.
And that's what I
said though, but don't let them. It's gaslighting. Hold on. Jose's asking. Jose, no, we can't hear you, Jose. We can't hear you at all.
Look, I ain't never tried to insult or demean nobody.
Jose is asking a question.
Okay, let's Jose talk.
Is he back? Jose.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Can anyone hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, now my other point, as I stated before, feminism. First of all, we have to make a distinction between feminism in its original form to what some versions of feminism today. Okay, we have to admit there was a lot of inequality that women have to go through. Okay.
No, it's absolutely true. A lot of men don't understand that because they're not in that position.
With the modern feminism is about this misandrist approach to.
Okay, I don't even.
Dynamics.
Can I?
You guys don't want to be called misogynist, but you love throwing around the term, misandrist.
Feminist, yeah. I didn't call you guys misogynist. I didn't call you guys women haters or anything.
We get called misogynist all the time because with the whole patriarchal thing, the patriarchy in a negative manner.
But that wasn't an individual attack on you.
Can I have 2 minutes uninterrupted, please? Okay. As
Okay,
I was
I'll be quiet.
okay. As I was
Love you,
trying to
Jose.
say, we have to make a distinction between the feminism in its original form, which did correct a lot of inequalities with women. Unfortunately, there are some portions of feminism that gone off the wagon. Okay, but when everything is said and done, both sexes need to have mutual respect for each other. Most sexes must be able to value each other. In all fairness, it is the beauty that attracts a man. Okay, what keeps a man? That is a mature man, not a boy. A mature man is what are those things? Are there things that we share in interest? Are there common traits that we have? Are there common things that keep us together? That's what keeps a relationship going. That's what keeps a healthy relationship going. Okay. But unfortunately, let's keep it real. Both men and female at times are picked poorly.
Very true. I
Okay.
think people just want to fuck. That's the vibe. They just want to fuck, and they doing it to the wrong person.
Well, you know what's a funny? But you know what's a funny
Well,
thing?
that's
But you know what's a
human nature. Wanting to
funny
fuck.
thing? When I first met my excuse me, when I met my ex-wife the first time, she wanted me to smash her. Seriously. I did not, because I wanted to.
Where's 18th letter? 18th letter said he got triggered. He come back. 18th letter.
He did.
No. He got caught off. I mean, he may
No,
be
but
on
I mean earlier in the stream when Ramon was like, "I'm not mad," or whatever, he was like, "I am," or whatever.
Come
back.
But the whole point is I wanted to get to know the lady. That's why I didn't go ahead and smash her, even though she literally begged me to do so. It does that. Okay, I know I'm a little weird, but I believe in knowing a person before I smash a person.
I agree with that. Yeah. If I was a guy, that would alarm me.
Listen, a good man with a good head on his shoulders can lead a woman into the right direction. I'm not saying that men don't need women and women. I think that we need each other. I think that's why God created us both. I just don't agree with men blaming everything on women when in our reality, they hold the power. So it's really, it really takes men to really change the direction of society, because they, for the most part, control society. Period. Point blank.
Even though women have more power now, they have more decision making, they have more rights. Still, at the end of the day, the men control the society. And I understand that I may offend you when I say the patriarchy, but we live in a patriarchy. You guys control everything.
And it's been like that since the Bible, since the beginning of time. Like, why are we acting in denial about that? It just is what it is. And it makes sense because you guys are at the top of the food chain. You're stronger. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is.
Women have to fight for our rights. Let me correct something. I don't remember who said it, but that men gave women gave us the rights that we have. No, women had to fight with that, burn their bras, and do all kinds of other crazy shit to be heard. Okay? It wasn't just given to us. We had to actually fight for that. We had to protest against that to get the rights that we do, that we have today. But still, even today, we do not control Congress. We do not we're not majority. We're not. And I think that the issue with the marriage and the divorce and the alimony and stuff like that has a lot to do with power. And this idea that when you're married, this is my stuff and she's taking my things. And that's not how marriage goes. It cannot be all the woman's fault all the time. It cannot be the men's fault all the time. And I think that a lot of men, I think Ramon, that was what something that he was saying, that he feels like men are being blamed for everything when a relationship ends. And they have the most to suffer, but you do understand. I want you to understand something. It was created that way by men. When a marriage ends or a relationship ends, the men have to pay out.
Well, I mean, I just feel like they came out with these polarizing statements like, who's raising the children? It's their fault. Oh, well, they're getting a little taste of the medicine that, I mean, you guys are giving these very polarizing statements.
You, huh?
No, not at all. I'm definitely not triggered. I'm just saying that you're giving polarizing, you're giving polarizing statements, and then when you get pushback, it's like, oh my God.
The same thing could be said when you talk about,
I'm definitely not triggered.
Well, I guess we could say the same thing about when you bring up the fact that that women are getting a taste of what men go through because you're triggered.
Well,
we're not trying to do that.
About the alimony. Usually it's men that pay for the alimony. Okay, so
and most men do not pay their alimony. Most men do not pay the alimony. That's a little harder to get that to be paid. But the child support is number one.
I live in Florida. It's a no-fault state. You can get child support, but you're not really going to get alimony. I live in Florida. It's a no-fault state.
In Florida,
I don't live in California.
Most women don't get alimony.
There is also that. It depends on where you are. It depends on
yeah.
Florida, Florida alimony is hard to get.
I don't agree with that either. I don't feel like, well, I mean, shit, if you give somebody 20 years or something, yeah, you do deserve your fucking big ass cut. But I mean, at the same time, I don't agree with men thinking that they can just leave a woman and send them back to the fucking ghetto while they go along with their millionaire lifestyles either. Like, come on now. Where's the fucking humanity? You got children with this woman. And she done gave you 20 years of her life. She done gave you the best years of her life. All you guys care about is youth and beauty. So why do you think that you can rob her of all of that and go along and leave her destitute? You can't, motherfucker. You gotta pay. Get over it.
She's not calling you a motherfucker, okay? She's not calling you.
No. Definitely not. Definitely not.
For the most part, there were more people were more in community, so it wasn't like a man could just leave a woman destitute, because there will be a support from communities. I understand that that's basically.
It's not the community's fault to take care of these bums' kids.
And the woman will have family. She will have some kind of a backup, even before the whole.
It's not their responsibility. It's the husband. It's the father's responsibility.
Well, the thing is.
Can you admit that, or you just said well?
No, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. Of course, I mean there are.
Can you admit that it's not the community or the family's responsibility to take care of these women and their children from their divorce, or is it both of their parents' responsibility to take care of the kids?
It's not an obligatory responsibility, but there should be kind of like a family backup, a family support, somewhat, at least somewhat of a support. I'm not talking about that it should be a responsibility, no.
Okay, Ramon, I don't know if you know American history.
That's crazy.
But what you just suggested.
This is ridiculous.
Hold on. What you just suggested, that was a thing that was going on here in the States. Right?
Mm-hmm.
However, the other family members have their own families to take care of. It should not be on the whole family to pick up the slack of this one family member that decided to pump and dump. And then the churches will also involve. But it's not fair that everybody else has to come on and pick up the slack for someone who decided to leave. This is why the courts made men responsible. Do women take advantage of the system? Of course, just like men take advantage of the system.
Mm-hmm.
The system was created to benefit men, not women. Women just have learned how to manipulate that, just like men. A lot of men, with the porn and the OnlyFans and all of that, sex sells. A lot of men, they're wired for sex, and women use their sexuality to finesse men. But they've made that opportunity happen
Since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
They want to be mad at the women for that. You made the rules, baby. You made the rules.
Yeah.
No, but it's not a rule. It's kind of like,
you know something too, Ramon, and
we do like what?
in American history,
Hmm.
I want to say about 100 years ago, it could be a little more than that. Men had sole rights over their children, over the wives, and a lot of times,
They used to make the wives leave and they would stay with the kids, right?
right?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
the woman didn't have any rights for her children. The children were the father's property. Also, the father could have sex with the children, and there was no laws against it. The father could send a child to the working factories and not get an education, and there was no laws against that.
Okay,
So
I'll
now
give you
there's
that.
laws put in
I'll give you
place.
that because I wasn't born and raised in this country, so that's not the set of
Yeah,
values that I was raised with. So
right. Yeah. You. I know you're
I'll
from
give
Puerto
you.
Rico,
I'll
so
give you that.
things were different.
Yeah, because
Right.
in the culture that I'm from, when women get married, they don't even change their name. There is a reason for that. It's because the family remains important. So there is
Right.
that presence. So that's
But
my
regardless,
background.
Ramon,
For
you really
me,
think
that's
it's the
everything
family's
that
responsibility to take care of other people's like you think it's the family's or is it the parents' responsibility, you know? It's not the
A lot of the
government's
family
either,
members
it's
are
the
for
parents.
themselves. Yeah, a lot of the other family members are for themselves. So it really shouldn't fall on other family members. This is why
Is
they have
Jose
this
there?
process.
Jose, are you there?
Ideally, no, it shouldn't.
Yes,
Ideally.
hello.
Okay.
Can anyone hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, it's just okay. Well, you know what? Even with all the technical difficulties and going back, I gotta admit this was a fun stream, though. Can we all agree on that?
Yes,
Yeah, well,
it was nice.
I had a great time. Some people can't like enjoy discourse or debate or whatever, but yeah, I had a great time, you know. Everybody still believes what they believe. Nobody can change anybody's mind, but we at least got out here and we talked our ish, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was good.
I don't know what happened to 18 letter.
No, okay, you think you might be thinking that he's trigger. He most likely he's on the road, and when he's on the road,
Oh, he's a truck driver, right? He's a truck driver.
right?
Okay.
That
makes sense.
That tends to be it because he has to be on the move in his reception. His connection may not be so great.
Right.
Yeah.
But I always loved going back and forth. But I still blame him for his divorce. I'm gonna blame you because I know what you did.
Guys, before we end this stream, would you like a little tea?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm always down for the tea. What's the tea?
Who's marrying who now?
Okay. Now this has to do with the Owl Show. How he's talking about his tirade and what have you. However, we go into his channel and list the channels that's featured as far as supporting. It lists Golden Goddess, it lists multiracial movement, and identity withheld.
Yeah, because that's old or whatever. But I don't, Al. He even admitted on his last live stream, he's like the most views that he got was from about his video about us. I realize that's part of the territory. These people get more views talking shit about us than actually being cool with us. So it's just kind of part of the game. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm not 100% sure what happened.
I just had to.
People, for whatever reason, like we just had this little stream or whatever, maybe some people will walk away mad and butthurt. For some reason, it's a problem in our society too that people cannot like disagree on social media. They become obsessed, bitter, angry, insane. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I'm still gonna come out here. I'm gonna give my opinion and talk my shit. What, Ramon?
Like that, I won't ever understand because, like I was saying in the beginning, I do have a life away from the computer. So
And let's be honest, we all win some and we all lose some. I mean, you know what I mean? As far as it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry the falling out happened with Al. I did not see coming. I did not see that coming at all.
Well, because we didn't have any idea of really what the situation was with him in that other sector. So when he started seeing me being cool with people in the sector that he came from, it triggered him or whatever because he had problems over there. But you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to. You know, Al would go around and talk on all the panels with people that didn't like me, and I didn't put him in a position to make a choice or make a decision or say, hey, you can't come over here if you're over here on this person or this person, you know. So, but people feel they can do that to you, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm glad that he did that. I'm glad he showed his true colors. He's over there with, you know, Mulatto Vanguard and them and whatever, even though he hated them all this time, you know. But that's another thing about YouTube. People will click up, like, you know, with your enemy is my enemy type thing, and it doesn't typically last. So we shall see how this all unfolds with them.
I leave
Just like
everybody.
Hybrid and Vanguard are at war now.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, wow.
You didn't see that they broke up?
No, I don't follow any of them because I understand that they want a heteronormative kind of environment. So I just leave everybody. If I feel like I'm no longer welcome, then I just get out. You know, I just leave everybody alone. I don't follow certain people anymore because you've made it known. You know, you want certain type of people, and I probably don't fit in. So then I just unsubscribe. So I didn't know that the two of them were not getting along. I'm Latina. They have the mulatto sphere. I'm mulatto, but I'm a Latina. So I stick with I stick with those who want to be cool with us. I don't know. It just seems like they had their own thing going, and maybe I wouldn't have been a good fit. So I don't want to keep on being in a space where I may not belong there. Yeah. So that's why I stopped following. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be mean. I heard months ago they wanted a heteronormative kind of environment. So okay, everybody has a right to their thing, and I heard, I know that other people didn't want Latinos in the space, so I just pulled back. That's it.
Those same people, let's be honest, those same people, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so just leave them alone,
And they want to be mad at me because everybody's welcome on my platform.
Well, guess what?
Right.
Well, guess what? Hyper has only 56 subs now. So he's
really?
subs and allies.
I actually want you guys to come over and do a relationship stream on my channel as well. I mean, even though I know it gets heated, but I think this is good and it's entertaining. People forget too that YouTube is fucking entertainment. If we're all sitting around patting each other on the back agreeing, like, that's boring.
Right. No, I know. Just keep it responsible. Oh, snap. Irby's still here. I'm my bad, buddy.
Go ahead.
I just came back on.
Irby.
I just came back on. Once again, I would like to say this was a good stream. I like y'all arguing, and I agree with some of the things I say. Some of the things I don't. Some of the things I don't. But I'm just learning.
Yeah.
The giggle master. I love this word.
That's normal. We're not all gonna agree with each other,
Right.
That's the cool thing about social media is that we all can give our points of view,
Yeah. I respect it. Ramon, I love you, even though we don't always agree. You know that.
Actually, I missed talking to you. So it was nice to see you on a panel, so I could argue with you a little bit. So,
yeah,
no, I told Ramon from the beginning though. I was like, I'm gonna get you tonight because I've been waiting. I'm gonna get you, Ramon. I'm gonna get you.
I heard that.
Gigi. Guess what?
What?
Mulatto Bampudo got upset because I referred to you as one of my cyber daughters. He said
I heard that.
Very cringy.
Oh God. They're just jealous that we can, that's the thing that they can't do. They can't come out and just debate and give their talking points and just go toe to toe. They can't do that because they're too emotional. They are bitch ass made ninjas. Let's be honest, It is what it is.
Because I understand that Anthony and Gigi, I know there was a time where the two of you were disagreeing, but now you guys are talking to each other now, right? I mean, it happens.
Yeah, with Anthony or whatever, I just kind of think that's the bad thing is that he just kind of came into a point where everybody was kind of, fighting, and you know how it gets, Hazel. Everybody is just kind of, they want to know who you riding with, what squad you with, you know, what's your set or whatever. But Anthony's a nice guy. He has a great internet presence, I would say. I support him. He's very handsome. I think he can go far. Absolutely. I support him.
I support him too. We squash our shit too.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everything.
Guys, would you believe I actually gained 3 more subs tonight?
Well, that's
good. But that's another thing. People will be like, people will shame you and say, "Oh my God, you had so much drama on your panel," which they don't realize that people do want to see discourse. You know, I mean, they don't always want to see it I mean, they do actually, but you know, people do want to see. Like I said, we're just all sitting around patting each other on the back, like, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. It's fucking boring. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I remember that stream that you had with Multi, in which you were talking about that people were calling you bombs, and you were going on about that.
What? They were calling you what? They called you what?
Crack up laughing at work.
Wait, what?
You don't remember Hazel that Hazel, you don't remember that Angry started that when we were at war with Angry, and he was like making the bum fires like around the fire burning. He was saying that
Oh snap!
So they're literally running with the narrative.
Yeah.
They're saying that I live in a shelter, which is insane.
Living in a shelter, and you were having bum fights.
Bum fights around the fire. I can't.
That was funny.
That is funny. That's
and Ramon, I want you to hit my damn link. You never hit my link when I go live.
No, it's just that sometimes you're late and you do live streams past my bedtime, so
I do go late because I'll be waiting for the kids to be asleep. Yeah.
Because I be so tired. You know, I do the homeschooling. You know, I got that child with the medical thing. You know, my life is just it's busy.
Okay.
But Jose, this really was a great stream. I had a great time, Jose. Honestly, I mean, I know it probably seemed chaotic a little bit, but I had a great time.
Yeah, it was great, Jose. I usually stay away.
Yeah, but a lot of people like the drama and the ratchetness. You guys know that.
What you said, the ratchetness? Did Ramon throw shots?
Well, not so much the ratchetness, but there was drama. There was drama from that.
A little bit of drama, a little bit. It's okay. It's okay.
You know, I got triggered. I got triggered a couple of times, but nothing that serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jose.
What happened, Jose?
But you know what, guys? I thought this stream was only gonna last for an hour. This has been almost 3 hours long, and I gotta admit, it's one of my better streams. At least here, there is room for agreement, and we can engage each other like adults, not like a certain individual from Canada or a certain individual from a transplant to Hawaii.
And Hazel coming up too. Hazel, she's such a good personality as far as YouTube. I always did encourage her to make a channel, but that wasn't her passion. But I also want you to come on my platform, Hazel. Because
I be trying, but it's so late.
Hazel be like Machine Gun Kelly. Like Hazel be going off. I don't know. You know what I mean? Hazel's always been like that. Hazel's always been like that.
Yeah, you know, this is the first time in a long time that I stayed up. You know, this usually when you do your lives, I try to see them the next day, but there's so many people making videos that I miss a lot. But today, you know, I gotta defend that lady. I keep forgetting her name. The one that don't want to, you know, be with a bus driver. That is just too much. That is leave that
y'all
alone.
get channel memberships to my channel, and I want to say that too. We need to, as far as YouTube. Actually, this is the part with this side of YouTube that we're on, because I go in a lot of different sectors. People actually support content creators in other sectors. We need to make that normal on this side, because eventually, I'm monetized now, but everybody else is going to be monetized eventually as well. What's the point of being monetized if nobody's going to fucking support you? We need to normalize that shit around here, because every other sector supports people. So I just wanted to say that we should all support each other, and And even with cash apps and shit like that, because we're building a sector and there's really no support, which is kind of sad. So, and I go to other sectors, and even if they hate each other, they still engage with each other, which creates content, which creates revenue, which you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying that other sectors are way more business minded than ours. And yeah, some people are here for hobbies, but at the end of the day, to be out here in these YouTube streets and fighting and going through this and going through that and getting doxxed and people calling this person and this person, like, yeah, content creators do want to make a living on here, Absolutely. And people shouldn't be shamed for that.
Well,
I just wanted to add that in, Jose, because this side of
YouTube, people are making money on different platforms too. So I don't. People are making money on TikTok and all this other stuff. So
That's why a lot of these people in these sectors come up and they talk about how much money they have and shit like that, and they never even send a $2 cash app. I don't want to hear that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people come on here and brag, and they don't support nobody. So it's bullshit. So I do want to make that normal, that we all support each other, so that more people actually want to join our side of YouTube and contribute,
Yeah.
Rather than going to other sectors where they do support each other.
I agree.
Everybody have a great night. I would say way past my bedtime.
Yes, good. Good
night, Hazel. It was good to see you.
Good night, Irby. Good night, Gigi. Good night, Jose. Good night, Ramon. I love you, but I still blame you. I'm gonna fight you one day, Ramon. I'm gonna go to Texas and fight you.
No, I got love for you too. I mean, even though you can be mad difficult, but yeah, I still have love.
Yeah.
Hazel, you're one of my cyber daughters.
I know. But I appreciate the conversation, and I try to stay up to date with everybody's stuff. I try.
All right.
Right? Have a good night, everybody.
You too.
All right, you too. Take care.
Good night. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to take closing remarks. So we're going to start with the person who wants to go to Alaska in shorts in the wintertime. Wants to go to the square in Chancletas and New Year's Eve and watch the ball drop. Wants to go to Orchard Beach on New Year's Day. Wants to be buried in snow. The introvert Boricua.
Yeah, no, none of that is true. None of that is true. I hate the cold weather. I need warm. It's nice down here in Texas. It's around the 80-degree mark, and that's how I like it. So I wish it will stay the whole year, the whole damn year. It will stay like that. It will be kind of like more like Puerto Rico. But first of all, Jose, thank you for putting me on your panel. I thought I was just gonna come up for like a few minutes and show some support, but it developed into something else. So it was interesting. I like being a part of it, even though I had to shout a couple of times, which is not something that is really my thing. But yeah, it was a good string, gay string. I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting with the dynamics and people going back and forth. Hey, we need to do something like this again. Maybe not so much of a shouting match. Ordered into that, but yeah, having that interaction and people that not necessarily disagree. That's good. Because like Golden was saying, you don't want a stream where everybody's agreeing with each other, because those are the boring ones. And that's I totally agree with that. We do need to have opposing views, opposing opinions, but as long as we can keep it we can keep it classy, we can keep it civil. That's the word that I was looking for. As long as we can keep it civil, we can still be entertaining. But again, Jose, I appreciate you letting me be on your panel. Shout out to Golden once again. Shout out to Irby and to the other panelists that are not here. Shout out to the chat. Thank you for having me.
Shout out to you, Ramon. I love you too. I love all
Thank you,
y'all.
thank you. No, love you too, chica. You know that I always look out
No, and you
for the
held your
stream.
own, and you had your hands full with me and Hayes, because Hayes will be on a million times. And I know I'm a lot to deal with too, and Hazel's even more like.
Yeah, I was expecting it. That's why
Yeah,
I'm not
so you held
bothered.
your
I'm
own
not
fight.
that guy. Yeah. Well, you guys take care. Thank you for having me, Jose. Have a good one.
Thank you very much, Ramon. So now we're going to go to Irby and his final remarks. Go ahead, Irby.
Once again, like I said, it was fun. As always, I love and support all y'all.
Love you too, Irby. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Jose
Thank
said,
you,
okay.
Irby.
Oh, damn. GG, you know. I
Okay.
don't know your catch app, Jose.
Isn't it like Cute One Army, or what's your Cash App, Jose?
It's
I think his
Oh, I see it
okay.
here.
It's well, it should be yeah. It's
Oh yeah, it's going
cute
across the
one and
bottom.
yeah. But thank you very much, Irby, for stopping by. And of course, I gotta give the final word. Let my one of my cyber daughters, who I love, who someone think it's cringy for me to say it, but I don't care. Gigi, your final remarks.
Thank you, Poppy. I just want to say that it was a great show tonight, and I do want to leave everybody with the final word that I do feel like I'm not a crazy feminist. I don't hate men. Women need men. Men need women. That's the way it's supposed to be. But men are in control of things, so they do bear more of the responsibility, and that is by God's word and divineness. So, other than that, I just want to say God bless everybody, and thank you, Jose, for having me up. And I'll see y'all later.
All right, good night, GG.
Good night.
All right, take
Bye,
care.
Jose. Thank you for letting me up,
Good
Jose.
night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you. Now I'm going to give you my final remarks. It was good. It got a little bit intense, but that's perfectly okay. Okay. But when everything is said and done, I'm going to go back to my original premise, which was Ebony K wins, has the right to say the bleep she wants, and she also has the right for her preferences. The only caveat is that there's a lot of competition. That's all I'm going to say. And for the people that are attacking her, I wish that you would analyze what's being said without the emotion. Okay, and that was the whole point of this whole story, which was really more like a two-part. Okay, which was okay. This is what she chose. This is what she decided. And as far as why her marriage or her relationship ended, we don't know. So it's not our place to speculate. Now, I just want to say a huge shout out to everyone that appeared on the chat, and a huge shout out for everyone that appeared on the panel. So I'm gonna let you know that I'm gonna be live on Friday at 9 o'clock, and we will have our discussion. One thing we're not going to talk about is the Ebony K. Williams situation. Okay, I think I had said more than enough about it, and it is getting to be kind of old. It is getting to be kind of stale. So that being said, I thank you all, and you're more than welcome to enter your comment after the stream. And if there's anyone wants to share it, by all means, go ahead. Um, Now, next, us be good to each other. Okay? And, excuse me. Oh boy, my, just give me, okay. And we will do this again soon. I'll be live on Friday. That being said, this has been a interesting episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, and I wish all of you a good night. Take care and peace.